Wow, how long's it been? Graduation?
Her relatives still live over in the east of Katya Varna, if I'm not mistaken. The eastern garrison's fighting off the Kyoka Republic's invasion right on that border, aren't they?
I've heard the new enemy forces have been giving them some trouble, but they'll still win because the garrison commander's a legend, Lieutenant General Hasafrikan.
The #1 killer of heroes is overwork. You should really get your relatives out of there. There's no way that place is going to last beyond a month against the Kyokan army.
That sounds like Ika Salor. Come down here and explain what you meant by that.
Exactly what I said.
How dare you not support Riken's garrison? Those troops are out there fighting with everything they've got. A lazy defeatist like you has no respect for that, though, right?
Yeah, you guys really have me pegged.
What'd you say?
Take a deep breath. You shouldn't mind him. Looks like it's about time for me to go. I'm not going to lie. I'm relieved you showed up. And that you didn't blow off the first exam.
Well, you promised me a cushy job working at the National Library. Can't let your fancy family connections go to waste, can I?
So you think it'll fall?
They'll defend us well, but they'll never launch an offensive strike against Kyoka. And that's because the Emperor and the Cabinet have no real intention of ever going to war. You know, I'm really pretty shocked that you asked me to take this next exam for you. Cheating doesn't seem like your style at all.
I need all the help I can get. I've heard my rival in this race is the Remian family's youngest. As the eldest daughter of the Iksum family, I don't have a choice. I've got to place at the top of the class.
Yeah, I told you I'll do my best. And as far as I'm concerned, that's my last brush with the army.
Right, you've never exactly been a fan, have you?
Yaltari Iksum. Like the field marshal? Sorry, I should introduce myself. I'm Haroma Becker. And I'd like you to meet my partner, the water spirit Mill. Miss Iksum, Mr. Salor, it's a real honor to meet you.
It makes me nervous when I hear my family name. Please, call me Yatari.
Well, in that case, I hope you'll agree to call me Haro.
Yeah, of course, I'd like that. Haro. So, you'd like to be a combat medic?
You got it exactly right. Although, I'm a little embarrassed to take the test a third time.
Ikta Salork. What in the living hell are you doing here?
You're telling me you actually passed?
This is Matthew Tedridge. His partner is the Wind Spirit, Sue. As you see, we were at school together. If you've ever heard of the Tedridge family, be sure to let him know. You'll be his new favorite person.
You call that an introduction? I mean, really, are you kidding me with that? It doesn't matter if she's heard of us or not. We're a distinguished military family.
You said it's Tedridge? Let's see. Maybe I might have... It does feel like it rings a distant bell, but then again, I could be wrong.
Don't sweat it, Matthew. Who wants to be famous anyway, when we can be obscure wretches together? Comedians are used to not getting
So
as
then,
famous as they...
Ikta isn't from a noble family like you.
Solork is the name of an orphanage, my beauty. Not only am I a commoner, but I also have no father or mother. I was found passed out cold on the side of the road by Kus, who was working at the Solork orphanage at the time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Beauty, please, call me Ikun, a sign of our warm friendship.
Yeah, sure, of course. That's not weird.
What's this? I can tell you've often worked with your hands. I've always kind of liked that in a girl.
I have 4 younger brothers, so I've done my fair share of work, yes. Why would you touch my earlobe? Hey, you're messing up my hair!
This is neither the appropriate time nor place, Ikta. You okay? A little word to the wise. Ikta has been known to cop a feel in the past, so keep your guard up.
Ew, gross!
Hey, it looks like I'm in here with you guys. Is it okay if I come in?
No, of course it's not. Go back to your own turf and stay there, pretty boy.
Feel free to ignore him. Come inside and grab a bunk. Make yourself at home.
Thanks. I'm Torway Remian, and my partner's the Wind Spirit Safi. Good to meet you all. I'm dreading this exam, but at least I'm in good company.
Oh, so you're... My name is Yatarishi no Igsum, and this is Shiro, my partner. I see you know my name as I know yours.
Of course I do. Flame-colored hair. You're the eldest.
Don't start getting cocky over there, kids. The Iksum infantry and the Remian gunners, everybody's over them now. So don't get haughty just because you used to be famous.
Sure thing. And you are?
My name is Matthew Tedridge, and don't you forget it, Mr. Youngest of the Remians.
Won't be a problem, as I'm great at remembering names. Any objections to the name Makun? Hey, we haven't met yet.
I really see no need for there to be 2 hunters in this wolf pack. You were brought before the judge, you stood trial, and you were found guilty, in the 1st degree, of unnecessary hotness! You know, it's written in the scripture of the Alderon, suffer not the haughty to live!
You know you could be tried for heresy just for saying that, right? This is Ikta Salork. He habitually tries to scare off anyone he perceives as competition. Never mind him.
Are you too close then, or what?
We've known each other a long time.
It's been a pleasure meeting you. How about I call you Ikun?
Nope, sorry. This lovely vision is the only one who can call me that.
Huh? What'd you say?
May I present Aroma Becker? She dreams of someday commanding a medic squad. She also has 5 younger brothers back home. She's the very best there is. You can trust me on that.
Okay, that introduction might give someone the wrong idea.
Don't worry. I definitely get what he's saying.
No, wait, what part do you think you get? This is uncomfortable.
Look, now that we've had our little meet and greet, let's get settled, shall we?
Damn it! Not again. How did I manage to lose this time?
Well, see, when you moved the...
It happened 21 moves ago by my calculations. When you forced your gunman stubbornly forward through enemy lines.
Ikun, you memorized the entire match? How can you even see the whole board from up there?
I told you not to call me that!
Tea time! Get it while it's hot, everyone.
It's really getting bad out there.
Wow, thanks for that. I think you just saved our tea.
Military chess, huh? How many times has Matthew lost so far?
Hey, maybe my game is improved. You don't know.
Does it really matter? Being a master chess player doesn't make you a master general.
Yep, she's right. And to accurately depict wartime, the chess player should be blindfolded.
Ikun, that's impossible.
Stop calling me Ikun! Now, in a real battle, does the general usually get a bird's-eye view of the battlefield?
No. Most of the time, he has to estimate the location of the enemy based off limited information.
Nothing's absolutely guaranteed. His own men may not follow his orders to the letter.
Right. But a soldier needs his imagination, which allows him to use fragmented information to envision the whole when he makes decisions. Blindfolded chess can help create a facsimile of that.
Here, before it gets cold.
Oh, thanks, Aro.
What's that? Someone out there? Are you okay? I don't think you're here for the exam, are you?
Sorry, excuse me, please.
That's weird. There really shouldn't be civilians aboard this ship. Am I right? Ikta, what do you think?
I think she's still a little young for me to think about. Given a few years, though, I'd be happy to have her on board with us.
I wasn't asking to hear about your ever-disturbing personal preferences.
What the heck was that?
Grab only the things you need to survive, and then let's head up to the deck.
Everyone who can hear me must report to the lifeboats immediately!
Listen, guys, stay calm and keep moving.
There's no way we just ran around. Right, guys?
Look at this storm.
So, who's got the bad karma, I wonder?
Now!
I'll give you one guess, pervert.
All right, guys, hang on. You're going down. Are you kidding me with this boat? In this crazy storm?
Aku, we need you to man the right side. And Becker, get the
Hey,
left.
look, it's that girl. That's not good. She won't survive. Ghost, if you can still see her, light her up with your high beam, will ya?
It's dangerous.
Please, my friend.
You sure?
You better not let go or I'm gonna come back to haunt you.
Wait, Ikta!
Oh, is this it? Is this how my life ends? I still have so much I wanted to do before I left. Oh, good. Look who's awake now. Who are all of you?
My princess, we beg your mercy for the manner in which we met. Will you please forgive us?
Raise your heads up. Someone explain to me what's going on here.
Yes, as you wish, princess. 6 of us barely made it to a lifeboat in time. And now we've washed ashore, so for the time being, we've sought refuge in this cave by the sea.
So then, it's real. It wasn't a dream at all. That means you saved me and kept me warm.
Aroma Becker and I, Yatarishi no Iksum, kept you warm without your permission. We didn't have much choice, though. We beg for your understanding.
Yes, and for your mercy. I'm deeply grateful. You've been remarkably kind. And I know that name. Yatarishi no Iksum, you said.
Yes, ma'am.
It was 8 years ago when we met. I visited your home with the Emperor. I remember you very well now.
I'm amazed you remembered. It seems so long ago, and you were only 4 years old at the time.
And I believe you were all of 10, is that right? You didn't recognize me when you saw me on the boat today, did you?
With all due respect, you've grown a lot. You're not the same little girl I met anymore. The Eternal Spirit Tree Ring gave you away. That's when I realized who you really are.
Indeed. I am the third princess of the Katyavarna Empire, Shamil Kitra Katya von Maminik. Where have the others gone?
They're out surveying the area, Princess.
If I may address you, my name is Matthew Tedrich, Your Royal Highness. It's a great honor for me to be in your presence.
Your family commands a garrison in Ebdork, isn't that right? Please speak freely.
Well, if you feel like you've sufficiently warmed yourself now, do you think there's any possibility at all that I could go ahead and get my jacket back from you?
Oh, my apologies. Not quite yet, Princess. I took off your wet clothes in order to keep you warm.
I've been wondering, what do you think the princess was doing on our ship?
I don't even want to know. Seems best not to pry into the Imperial family's affairs. You never know where it could land you. By the way, I'm very impressed. Here the ship was going down, and you still managed to think to yourself, you know what I need with me more than anything else? An air gun.
Are you all that surprised? It's my third favorite thing. It's in line right behind my comrades and Sophie. I couldn't leave it behind.
Man, I'm so hungry.
No way. Even if we were swept by the currents, we couldn't possibly be.
Yes, we could. We're looking at the Empire's eastern border to the west from our position. Which means...
Wait, you're telling us that this is Kyoga Republic territory?
So we're behind enemy lines? My God.
Let's talk about this. It's crucial that we're all on the same page now. That's what's important. We've got two options here. First one, we surrender to the Kyogans and ask to be prisoners of war. That one's actually safe. The second choice is to break through the border and return to the Empire. That's a gamble, though.
So if we're taken prisoner, you're saying our safety is basically assured then, right?
That's a little too optimistic. There are people in our group who could very easily be used as diplomatic bargaining chips.
Not just the princess either. Yaltari and Torway would be valuable to them too, wouldn't they?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. Even if we're taken prisoner here...
It can't happen. I will never be taken prisoner. I don't have time to waste here, not on this. We have to break through that border and get back no matter what else happens. I'll give you any reward.
Screaming won't solve anything, Princess. No matter how much you yell, the facts still remain. So you should really take a moment and calm yourself. You know your Imperial history. That alone should be enough to have taught you that you can't trust me.
Your Highness, I'm terribly sorry about my friend here. I hope you'll forgive him just this once. He was the one... Last night, it was him that dove into the water after you.
Yes, that's enough. Please let him up. He was right. I shouldn't have lost control of myself.
Be thankful for the mercy of the princess. Now get yourself outside and walk it off.
Fine.
That wasn't like you at all. The Iktasalork I know is a sarcastic ass, but he never gets worked up like that.
I'm a little surprised myself, to be honest. I wouldn't have thought it'd be that infuriating to see her lose control just because she's a member of the Imperial family.
I see, so that was it.
I thought I'd given up on those ideals forever ago.
I know this might sound a little harsh, but I think the princess is really just acting her age.
Yeah, I know. She's lived 2/3 as long as I have. She's still a child, really. So why do I expect more? Just because she happens to have royal blood in her veins. Hey, could you let me borrow your Mengosh?
I swear, if you chip it, I'll kill you.
It's been 2 days since I've had a real meal.
Not bad, considering we just grabbed whatever we could find.
We can't have a good constructive conversation on an empty stomach. I can't, anyway.
Yep. I am pretty proud of my haul, if I say so myself.
Wow, that's so good!
My air gun.
Oh, Princess.
As for what we do now, it's true that losing my temper isn't going to help us when bit. We either cross the border by ourselves, or we become prisoners of war. I want you to think very hard before coming to a decision.
Princess Shamil is right. We're well hidden here, so they won't easily find us. We can afford to take a few days and really think about what the best move would be. Looks like we're all set here. And now...
Is there anything I can do to help out? No, there's no need for that. You should take it easy, Princess. Oh, okay then.
Why does your air gun have such a longer barrel than mine?
Yeah, that's so I can take the really long shots.
Salor, is there anything that I can do to help you?
Yeah, sure, if you really want to. I'm weaving these so you can help with that.
Is it a net?
Nope, much better than that, Princess. This is a far more vital necessity to our comfort.
So this is an actual bed?
It's a Navy-style bed, more commonly known as a hammock. It's pretty great once you get used to it. So... Wow, impressive. You got it the first time.
I don't see how you can sleep on it, though.
It's easier than you think. Try to relax. Looks like this one's still breathing. Hey, Torway, how about yours?
Wake up. Eric, wake up.
I'm so sorry, Spirit. Your master isn't... He's...
Torway. Save that for later and come here, would you?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Looks like it's up to you to tell us what we need to know. Sky Warrior Nihad Hugh. We'll treat your wound, but only after you've answered our questions. First, what's the location of your base?
It's off to the east. Half a day, traveling by blimp.
Good. What was your mission? And how many are there in your squad?
Patrolling this side of the border, it was just us three. We didn't have a squad.
Where did you leave your blimp? How do we find it? I can't hear you. You're delaying your treatment.
Leave the forest. It's on the coast. I'm so cold. Please, could you stop the bleeding?
Hang in there. I have one last question for you. Sky Warrior, tell me, have you ever been to the border? You're safe, Princess. You can come out now if you want.
Your Highness, I'm so glad you're all right.
Unfortunately, all of your partners passed away tonight. But I swear, by the name of our god Alderamin in heaven, that we will treat you well from this day on, and no harm will come to you. In an imperial church, you'll be regenerated. I ask you to trust us with your sacred souls. Thank you. I accept your soul stones and your faith in us.
Wait, what are you doing? You don't really have to. Let's hide him in the bushes there.
Doorway, if you want to revel in your first victory, that's all well and good. All I ask is this. Allow me this one luxury, okay? He told us what we wanted. I think you deserve some dignity.
I don't get it. How could I have possibly missed at that range?
A live, moving enemy is nothing like a training dummy. In the heat of the moment, it's hard to operate at even half your full potential.
But the enemy, he was only barely moving. Plus, you and Ikun were somehow able to stay calm and take accurate shots. But then
Listen up, Torway Renian. The mere fact that you have an air gun here, that makes you invaluable to us. Even tonight. Because of you, I was able to approach the enemy in relative safety. You know, you could maybe learn something from Ikta. He knows very well what his own personal strengths and weaknesses are, and he uses them accordingly.
It seems like you understand Ikun better than anyone, don't you?
This is all my responsibility.
Your Highness.
I was the one who ordered you to see me back safely. If I hadn't, then none of this would have happened. The Imperial family only exists to help people. And yet because of us, there is so much senseless killing. So I've got to return. I have to do my part. It's up to me to hasten the collapse of the Great Tree as much as I possibly can. And for that, I'll accept any of Hell's punishments.
Wait, you're bleeding, Your Highness.
I don't care.
Matthew,
The blood in my
Laura.
veins is rotten. My family, the blood of the Katya von Benedict, we've been rotten for generations.
Tastes normal to me. Princess, blood won't go bad, not as long as it stays in the body. That's just an old superstition. It's best to approach life more scientifically.
Scientifically?
Science is a new way of thinking. Master's invention. Conclusions are made using logic instead of fear. And anyway, think about it. Saving you from a shipwreck wasn't easy. I put in a fair amount of effort. So do me a favor and take care of yourself, okay?
All this time, I was afraid you resented me, hated me.
The things I said before, Princess, had more to do with me than they had to do with you. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Yadri, what kind of man is Yggdrasil underneath all those layers?
He's a twisted man. But the way I see it, you can't build a sturdy house with only straight sticks.
I've memorized all of their names.
Igda, it was an act of self-defense. Please, don't do this to yourself.
Thank you. 'Cause
Wow, so this is a blimp. Hey, look, fire spirits.
We had to take their soul stones from them. Their partners are all dead now.
Ikta, you already have some kind of strategy worked out involving this thing, don't you?
you know it. This baby's gonna help us cross the border.
We've got to ride over in this thing?
My apologies, dear Matthew. I hate to disappoint you, but I'm afraid it only carries 3.
Well, tell us what the plan is then.
So once again, the sun rises without any incident. I live in daily gratitude that none of my men have been killed. But does the Empire have any intention of ever fighting this war?
Excuse me, Second Lieutenant. Allies from our rear, sir.
That's odd. What unit is it?
Well, they're all quite unusual, sir.
I'm Second Lieutenant Nage of Harum, and I'm in charge here.
Second Lieutenant, I bring dire news. Look up, over there, towards the eastern sky, sir.
Our blimp.
Blimps are expensive and not easy to repair in the field. Every one of them is considered a precious commodity and very dear to the Kyokan army.
Oh, I think I follow. You're planning to use the blimp as a bartering tool to get us out of here, aren't you?
I don't know. How can we be sure that they'll negotiate with us? They'll probably think we're spies, even if we claim to be asylum seekers.
Not if we make sure they don't have time to mull it over.
Stolen blimp, this is a disaster!
We came upon these citizens in the forest, so of course we fired a warning shot. But somehow one got away, and we saw him run off towards the blimp.
You let them take the blimp away?
I make no excuses, sir. If the court orders me drawn and quartered, I'll accept it as my...
Did Steve present you with any specific demands?
I don't care what happens to me. Just return my family safely to the Empire. Once you do, I'll bring your balloon back to you.
So, a fictional enemy making threats with easily met demands.
But wait, why would we go back to the Empire for supposedly seeking asylum here?
I'll just tell them the warning shot scared you and you changed your mind. What's important now is keeping them firmly on the defense in self-preservation mode.
He demands that I send them back? My mission is to eliminate anyone who crosses that border.
Forgive me, sir, but have you considered the asylum seekers made it over the border? They were able to safely cross the sea, which is under your jurisdiction.
That's true. They did it right under my nose.
If it gets to the Empire and a simple shift in wind would do it, that blimp will be out of your grasp forever. There's no time to wait. Your decision, sir. Well, I'm gonna say it. That was pretty much perfect. I'll be here all night taking tips, ladies and gents.
No argument, you're a hell of a con man.
I never would have thought of something like that. Sending up a blimp unmanned? Brilliant, Ikun.
Seems obvious now. Of course he's more likely to heed a warning from an ally.
Well, I'm not jumping for joy over here. Finally got an airgun, and now I've had it taken away.
I have to beg your pardon, for that part does suck, my dear friend. But they're strict about not taking weapons across the border.
We shouldn't fret over what we've lost. Let's just be thankful that we're still alive.
Okay, I think it's about that time. You should put this back on, Princess. Since it's proof of who you are, it's about to be very important to us.
Right.
Is there something awful stuck to my face, or what?
It's nothing. Itasalork.
Princess Shamil, we're all so very grateful that you're back home safe with us.
You may raise your head, Lieutenant General Riken. Thank you for coming to greet me personally.
Your words deeply honor me. However, I'm still struck by your story. The horror of a shipwreck and landing in enemy territory.
I'm afraid it's all true. I only survived because of these 5 people. Allow me to introduce them.
Even living it up in the lap of luxury gets a little old after a whole month.
So, just hypothetically, what if I took some sugar home? I'd like to give some to my brothers.
We'll get a way better reward from the Imperial family. After all, we did rescue the royal princess.
There's only one reward I want. Only one I care about. I want another shot at the High Officer's exam.
Oh, I'm sure they'll agree to that.
Hey, you guys!
Read that. It'll wake you up fast. The Eastern region fell to the Republic. Lieutenant General Hazef Riken died in battle.
Forgive me, but you should withdraw, Lieutenant General Riken.
What?
You know this battle serves no purpose.
Overstepping your bounds,
Even when it
Ikta.
makes sense to attack, the eastern region remains on the defense.
Ikta!
And why is that? Because it's what the Emperor told you to do!
No need to restrain him. I'll allow this. Let him say what he wants.
Highness, this whole war is just for show. It's rigged. The Empire failed to develop the East, so now all they want is to be rid of it. But the Imperial Army wants people to believe they're really fighting for it. This valiant war with Kyoka. And that's why they've got a famous general right on the front lines. This is insane. Do you really intend to keep supporting it?
Young Salork, right now I'm very glad you're not one of my men. Because as it is, I don't have to punish a good man for being worried about me. We cannot withdraw.
Whether you choose to withdraw or not, Kyoka will take the eastern region. The result will be the same.
The process matters. It's one thing to obey the Emperor's orders and lose the region. It's quite another to disobey
No,
outright.
listen! That's unscientific thinking! You don't really believe that!
Excuse me, sir. Please forget everything you heard.
Take him away now.
Yes, sir. What are you doing? Is this what you want? To be the second Badasankure?
I told him it would happen.
Don't get too cocky. One man's opinion can't possibly change a war.
Lieutenant General Riken's rearguard forces unfortunately suffered the full brunt of the attack and were decimated.
But many of the soldiers were actually able to escape because of Riken's actions. I think he was well worthy of his reputation after all.
Like I say, every hero dies of overwork.
You're the 5 students who saved the princess, am I correct? You should weep with joy, for you've been given an audience with the Emperor. This is a great honor. Alzenkut Kitra Katyavan Maninik awaits you.
Hey, Torway, you're not supposed to meet the Emperor's eyes during an audience, isn't that right? Or sneeze, or cough?
Makun, would you calm down?
Ilf, Shoka, Etchery, your big sis is gonna do her best.
Ikta, I'm not grabbing you and pinning you down in front of the Emperor.
I know you won't.
Here they are, Father. My friends. These are the ones. They successfully escorted me out of Republic territory. These 5 deserve our thanks.
Due to your actions, my daughter, who carries the 900-year-old blood of the Katyavan court in her veins, has returned to me. In my eyes, that's no different than saving the Empire itself. Therefore, I'm going to give you the highest reward which is in my power to grant. Raise your heads high. Upon you 5, I hereby bestow the following title. Imperial Knights from this day until your very last.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
And now, we will have a ceremony to celebrate this great honor. Guide them, please.
So, do you think this really means...
But after all of this, we still get to go to High Officer School?
It would be a lot more accurate to say that we're going to be forced to attend. An Imperial Knight's a soldier, after all. And a soldier can't disobey his orders.
You have no idea what you've done, Princess. You've single-handedly destroyed every plan and dream I had for my own life.
Your Highness, I'm incredibly grateful for the honor. But one thing makes me uneasy. The title of Imperial Knight is only given to a soldier. Giving us the titles to turn us into soldiers, that feels backwards. Is there precedent?
There's no precedent. I decided you would be the very first.
From the people's perspective, the defeat at the Eastern Garrison was nothing but a tragedy and had no upside at all. So now you want homecoming heroes to make them feel better and take the nasty sting out of the loss.
Yes, that's true. Stories of what you've done have spread. It's the only light the people have. I have no choice but to use it politically.
Just tell me this. What do you hope to accomplish by keeping us under lock and key for the foreseeable future?
Did you learn to be suspicious from stories about your father, Ikta Salork? No, Ikta Sankre.
Way to go, Imperial family. So are you proud it took someone less than a month to track down a person's identity?
General Bada Sankre was one of our finest. History has proven that he was a stellar general and highly respected by all who knew him. But he was arrested when he flatly disobeyed orders. He died in his prison and you're his legacy.
Well, yeah, it's not like I sprung up from a tree trunk. Even little Ikun had parents at some point.
And the man you sometimes referred to as your master, the one who you said invented the new way of thinking called science, he was the blasphemer, Dr. Anarai Khan. Isn't that right? He fled to the Republic?
Huh. And if you asked him, being called blasphemer is a huge compliment.
That's not all I know. Your mother is Yuka Sankre, a beautiful woman whom the lecherous emperor invited to be a member of his harem, and engaged to General Bada as a reward.
If you dare to say one more word about my mother, Princess, I will snap your neck with my bare hands!
That would be quite a shame, because then I'd have to kill you, too. Seems a little nicer if everyone remains alive.
can't believe it. This is my air gun.
That blimp ended up falling into Imperial waters. General Rikin demanded its recovery himself.
Thank you, great General.
He sent you this message. Young heroes, I will pray for your success in battle and for your long life.
Talk to me. I'm worried about you. You haven't been acting like yourself.
Okay, listen. We're in very different places right now. For you to be named an Imperial Knight, it's like a dream come true.
Sir! Yes, sir!
What did I do to deserve this archaic torture?
Come on, cheer up, Ikun. Look, what's left today? Crossbow class, a lecture, and a marathon.
Gee, is that supposed to make me feel better? And don't call me Ikun.
Hey! So-called Imperial Knight.
Am I supposed to know who you guys are?
Ha! We brought you a little something special to help you get your strength back up. Here you go. Looks tasty, doesn't it?
Huh.
Hey, what are you doing?
1, 2... Centipedes have poisonous fangs, so you need to knock the head off first, or they can make you really sick when you eat them. So keep that in mind, yeah?
Let's go.
Trying to frighten Ikda with an insect? They didn't do their homework.
But still, that was a horrible thing to do.
There's no way I could deal with that.
Oh, come on. I think it's so adorable how childish they are.
The best way to deal with bullies is not to engage. The smallest dogs have the loudest barks.
That sounds especially ironic coming from you.
What? Did you practice saying that line?
Thank you for the escort. I appreciate it.
We are honored. We want you to focus on your studies without further concern.
May I sit here, Warrant Officer?
Do whatever you feel like doing, Warrant Officer Shamil. I don't own the desk or the chair, so have a seat.
Morning. Welcome to the Elementary Tactics Lecture. Now, we will begin with Chapter 2, Section 4, on the Japonic War. In the Imperial year 788, an expedition was conducted into the far eastern state of Japonic, which is presently Kyoko Republic territory. Tell me, what battle was notable for excellent performance by its low-ranked officers? Warrant Officer Shamil?
It's page 132.
The Battle of Abelia.
That is correct. And now, please explain why this battle was historically significant. You, Officer Solork?
The commanding officer on the Imperial side was Captain Giorgio. He and the rest of the 800 men in his independent battalion were marching alone in Abelia. They were then surrounded in the wetlands by 3 corps of about 1,600 Japonic soldiers and were on the brink of annihilation. The tactics called for retreat, but he had his men remove their armor and eliminated each force in succession, even before they had a chance to regroup. It was technically called defeat in detail. The battle is historically significant for the following reason. It showed us how a tactical victory can overcome a strategic defeat.
Very good.
But is that truly the main point? What was more impressive by far was his uncanny ability to predict the time and location of both his and his enemy's units. Do you understand? In a war where decisions were based on unit positions and relative strength, he added a new factor. The exact location of each unit at a certain point in time. This was the real accomplishment that mattered here.
Stop! That will be all!
If we really wish to learn from him, we can't just sit around and stare at a map. It's not enough. We must picture the units moving in real time, as if we're playing a game of chess while blindfolded. Now I'm done.
I gotta admit, with those skills, you could be one of those snipers that takes out an enemy commander.
Hey, thanks, Makun. It's a huge advantage being able to hit your target from a distance, so I'm working on mastering that skill.
Way to aim high.
Little brother, is that you? Check it out, Sushareth. The Imperial Knight's finally here. What's the deal? You don't call? You don't write? You know, we just got back from the Northern Garrison Fortress recently. So are you a friend of his? My name is Sarius Remian, otherwise known as this kid's older brother. And the big guy behind me is Sushareth Remian. And you are?
I'm Warrant Officer Tedridge, sir.
Uh-huh. One of the 5 who saved the 3rd princess. Nicely done. Well then, as his brother, I guess I should say sorry. He held you back a little, didn't he? My baby brother, I mean.
No. In fact, Torway, actually.
Noble of you to defend him, but don't bother. Sure, he's a crack shot from far away, but that's just because he refuses to approach the enemy like a sniveling little coward. Go ahead, deny it. And so, young warrant officer, as soon as things begin to get hairy, he'll turn tail and abandon all his comrades.
Shut up! No, I won't!
Now, little bro, you know I don't like it when you interrupt me. We've been over this.
I mean,
You what? Why don't you man up and say what you mean already, huh?
just looking at your face for a second is enough to make me sick. In fact, I wish it would explode so I don't ever have to see it again. It is written in the scriptures of the Alderans, there should be no mercy for cruel, sadistic bastards, and I agree. Here. Oh, don't worry. I took the head off.
No, wait, Ikun.
Stop calling me that!
Who the hell are you? Another stupid friend?
There are some pretty bimbos I can deal with, and some others I can't. And you're the latter. Appearance court declares you guilty, and you're sentenced to explode immediately.
Ikta! It's just like I told you before. His friend's getting his butt kicked in front of him, and that wuss does nothing about it.
Not only are you a sadistic bastard, you're also a moron, which makes perfect sense, really.
Yeah?
If you were a commander in a war of attrition, you'd take the enemy's bait every time. And they would blow your ass out of the water.
Why are you still talking? Shut your face!
No, I'm not finished yet. Barbarians lash out at everything all the time, but a soldier only attacks when it's necessary. And Ita Salork always speaks his mind whenever he sees fit, so just deal with it.
You asshole!
You're up.
I have no idea what just happened, but okay. So if I understand this correctly, interaction between soldiers is violent.
That's Princess Shamil.
Yes. It seems to me that Ikta was requesting these belligerent upperclassmen to spar with him. Ikta, what are the rules?
5 versus 1, and when they're knocked down, attack.
Got it. Since he's already been knocked down, I, Yatarishi no Iksum, will take his place. Let us resume combat.
Hey!
Big mistake, girlie.
All right. Who's next?
Bring it on, Red. Let's dance. At ease, Sushira. Let her go. That's enough for today. We're leaving now. But make no mistake, this isn't over yet. Not by a long shot.
Meal, we need ice.
Oh, my stomach. How many shades of purple is my back?
Relax, he's tougher than he looks. Ikta's dealt with worse than this, trust me.
But it's my fault my brother's gang. Where'd you get that silly idea, Adonis? A deplorable candy pants rudely woke me up from a nap, so I put him in his place, that's all.
Wow, you are out of your mind.
I know that was planned, Salork. You started that fight already knowing that Yatari and I were on our way over, because you hoped we'd see it.
Hey, Haro, can you give this sweet but naive princess who wants to show off her insight some sage advice from an elder, please?
Well... Oh! Speak when spoken to! That came out wrong!
Hey, Torway. Do you know why people fight wars of attrition?
You're trying to avoid a decisive battle, and buying some time so you can take the next opportunity. That right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. But, well, just know that's the most difficult thing.
Listen up! Each of you are now required to take a platoon of Imperial soldiers under your command. This is a big responsibility. Own it!
Sir! Yes, sir!
Warrant Officer Iksum, you will command the fire troop platoon.
I am honored to do so, sir!
Warrant Officer Rimian, you now have Airgun Platoon 1.
It'll be my honor, sir.
Warrant Officer Salork, Light Troop Platoon 3 goes to you.
It will be an honor, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations on your new command of the platoon, Officer Salork. We look forward to serving under you.
Many thanks. The feeling is mutual. Sergeant, sorry, what's your name?
I'm surprised you're asking. I think you already know my name.
Wait, what? Hang on. Have I met you before?
Sergeant Major Suya Mitkalif. 2 years ago, you were on intimate terms with my mother.
So are you telling me that you're actually Amishia's...
Yes, I'm her daughter. But I must warn you, you are never to mention her in front of me again, and I honestly mean that. You filthy, disgusting adulterer.
The daughter of a woman you slept with?
I strongly disapprove of breaking a married woman's vows.
Well, I was told that she was divorced. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The whole platoon knows about it. The big secret's out. Nobody's gonna take any orders from me, not after this. Suya's so mad, she's not even letting me lead them.
Sorry, but that's your problem. You won't find any sympathy from us.
Fine, whatever. I won't ask for help from you anymore.
Your Highness, please remain seated. You sit back down too, Torway.
But Miss Yatari...
Come on. Ikun's done a lot for me. I owe him.
His cavalier behavior was what brought on this mess. There's no reason for us to get involved. If that mistake were enough to stop him, and it isn't, he wouldn't ever have come here.
Stop! All troops! Turn left!
She's got him trained like show dogs.
Take a look at that. Seems like all of his soldiers are shutting him out. I think it's about time we take this guy down a peg.
They got us! This is bad. Super bad!
Wait, what are you talking about?
It's the mock battle. They just put up all the details for it.
Yeah, I heard about that. 6 platoons will split into 2 and fight with paint rounds, right?
The problem's how they split them. So on one side, they got me with Ikta and Torway. And on the other side, there's Yup Hiroshino, Captain Siriuslog, and Lieutenant Sushirev.
Ah, I get it. So graduated officers now get to come back to try and bully us. That's very clever.
After the humiliation they suffered, I'm surprised they want to see me again.
How can you all be so calm right now?
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Get over yourself, Angel Face. It's obvious those tools are specifically targeting me for revenge. And no offense, Matthew, but you're just an afterthought.
Yes, I concur. I feel bad for him.
Seriously, why do you two only agree when you're picking on me?
Meanwhile, what'll be happening with Haru's medic squad?
I believe we'll be treating the wounded soldiers on either side. The medics must be neutral, staying out of the battle.
Maybe, but it's us you should be worried about.
Now, calm down, Matthew. It's only an exercise. We've already had a real battle experience in which we actually risked our lives, remember? And on that note, I'm off to turn danger into opportunity.
So, what do you want, cheater? I don't need pointers from you on the next training exercise.
Come on, drop the hostility. Be honest, you're still angry that I slept with your mom back then, aren't you?
No, that isn't it.
Oh, I see. So you aren't derailing the whole chain of command over an old grudge. Then what is it?
It's because, your physical aptitude falls well below the standard. Thus, I can't see you as fit for command on the ground.
Ah, is that it?
Yes it is. Sounds to me like you're better at desk work, so maybe you should do that instead of command a troop.
I understand. By the way, Suya, I assume you've heard about the mock battle. Do you think you have a fair shot at winning it?
I hate to admit, probably not. Not this time, anyway. They're much more experienced and skilled than we are.
In that case, if I can lead all of us to victory, that would make me a more competent commander than you, would it not?
Why do you say that?
Because, Suya, I'd be achieving something you weren't able to. At the very least, proving that I am not, in fact, a failure.
Fine. If we win the mock battle, and you play a major, legitimate role in our victory, then I suppose...
You'll allow me to command the platoon as I was assigned to earlier?
But wait! What happens if we lose, huh?
Then I will concede defeat graciously, and take a desk job just like you said. Sound good to you?
I'll accept that.
Man, this weather is becoming a real problem. It's ruining my fantasy that we're heading off to a lovely picnic.
Sorry to bother you, Warrant Officer Remian, but may I ask you why our commander is, that guy?
Because he's the most suited for it.
The target is 30 kilometers to the south. We'll camp out tonight, and then arrive there tomorrow afternoon.
Oh no, we'll be setting up our tents at the site by nightfall.
Listen, Warrant Officer, it equals 30 kilometers as the crow flies. Come on, use your head, why don't you?
I did. Probably more than you did, in fact. Anyway, do you mind keeping the screaming down? I think you're frightening the troops a little bit.
Take your time. There's no rush, guys. On a tough route like theirs, they're bound to get lost.
Captain Siriuslog really knows this training ground well, maybe even better than anyone else ever did. What's the Lord going to do?
It's hard to say. He's very unpredictable.
Even after you've known him for this long?
He factors in what people think he'll do, too. Incidentally, Your Highness, some advice. Please be cautious. And make sure that no matter what, you aren't caught up in the crossfire. Stay behind them at all times.
Thank you, but I'm well aware of that.
Everyone, did you take what I told you to out of your packs? Excellent. All troops move to the left. Now, let's march. Move out.
Warrant Officer Salor, discarding our baggage is disobeying direct orders.
I'm neither discarding nor disobeying. It's a supply depot.
That's a nice idea, but did you ever think we might need them in battle?
I chose very carefully what we left. We can dilute the paint for the bullets with water to get more of it, and the tent exteriors will protect us from the weather.
But the higher-ups devise the item
It's
list.
solely at the ground command's discretion how the contents of the packs are used. That's why we made a supply depot. Okay, time for roll call, everyone.
We really did beat the sunset. Have you been here before?
Nope, this is my first time.
You're lying. I know it. You didn't even glance at a map once the whole way here.
It's a pain to take out the map when it's raining, don't you think? And besides, the map in here is instant, and it doesn't get wet. And the rest is experience. You see, my master trained me from a very early age, and fieldwork is the most basic element of science.
What do you mean?
I'll check out the Koriri River to the south later. Tomorrow we'll make camp beyond that.
Hey, wait! The orders said the North Plains are where we're supposed to go.
Ideal for our forces to meet there? It seemed more like a suggestion. What that means to me is, I can set up camp anywhere it makes the most sense to. And if the choice is up to me, then I would much rather have a battlefield that works to my advantage.
It's almost noon already, and there's still no sign of him. Maybe his unit will stumble in around sunset.
You're saying you want to build a bridge in the river?
Yep, an underwater bridge. This is known as an isu tree. It's super heavy and strong. We'll sink it in the river. The water's so muddy they won't even be able to see it. Simply put, we'll be the only ones who'll know that the river isn't protecting anybody at all.
Impossible! It's not that shallow! Brother, I need to know what your orders are. Fire! Open fire!
It's just as he said. The enemy was completely unable to handle the sudden attack. On top of that, we also have 3 platoons against their 2.
Get out of the way! Retreat! But don't stop firing!
Prepare to die!
Looks like I'm just in time.
How the hell did she get here? Retreat! Time to stop fighting! Retreat! All fall back!
We're changing position. Defend our retreating allies and go back to the forest!
Reporting in, Ikun. I'd say from the looks of things, it went very well.
Yeah, I guess it was a success, but I told you not to call me that. Hey, Matthew! You alive, buddy?
Yeah, but I'm not all that happy about it. I gotta admit, we did take out a lot of their troops, though. You think he might surrender now?
With that sadist running things, you might force them to fight to the very last man. Of course, I guess we could always kill him and be done. Time to change formation. Haro, come out and tend to the wounded.
Oh, I didn't think you saw us here. You're right, it looks like the battle's over, so we should get to it. Come on, guys.
What was your plan if he decided to check the depth of the river? That was pretty risky, don't you think?
Nah, he knows this training area so well, I figured the odds he'd do that were pretty low. Also, even if he did try it, a few airgun shots would have chased him off.
I'll go get the survivors together.
Yeah, thanks, Major.
It sure looks like you got him good, Solork. So funny. I wish you could have seen the hilarious look on his face.
We're still in the middle of the exercise, so if you wouldn't mind skedaddling, that'd be great.
Damn it! This is all your fault! You should have gotten here sooner, you Torresino!
My apologies, sir, but if you can find a squad anywhere who can move faster than we did, then I'd like to see it.
Gotta think, brother. What do you want our next move to be? I assume they'll be coming for us now. So we should move and ambush them on the road to the west, and then catch them in a pincher attack. Better enjoy that victory while you can, Ikta Solork. But get ready, because next time I see you, I'm gonna knock that smug grin right off your stupid face!
Yeah, that's my bet. He's saying something like that and burning for revenge right now. But all of that said, we won't pursue, so we can just wait around all day.
So then, how do you plan on us winning?
So first you gotta get rid of this idea that we're chasing the enemy. Chasing someone is tiring, and being chased is mentally exhausting. But making someone chase you? Now that can be fun. War is actually a whole lot like love in that way.
What the hell's going on? Do they not plan on actually fighting us?
Sir, reporting in. The enemy's 3 platoons have deployed their troops to seal the north exit of the forest. They'll be there soon, sir.
What are they playing at?
They've got us now. They've cut off our escape route, Captain. At some point, we'll have to use the north exit to get back to the central base. There's no other way. If they've got the exit sealed at the end of the mock battle, we'll lose because we won't even be able to get home. It's as simple as that.
So you're telling me that they could actually win this whole thing by default? Get to the northern exit!
Yep, there they are. Okay, all units, make it look like you're ready to fire. But in fact, Be ready to charge on my mark. Got it? Don't get too far ahead. And be sure you're working with the person next to you. Keep your eyes open. Compared to the value of teamwork, being first inside their lines, well, that's worth nothing at all.
Come on! Get yourselves in formation!
Do you think charging's the best idea?
Yeah. The boundary line for the combat zone is right behind them. If even a single one of them crosses that line, they'll lose automatically for breaking the rules. Listen up, men. Even if you die, don't fall down immediately. Pretend you didn't notice and keep pushing them back.
Well, that's certainly not textbook.
All right. All forces, follow me! Torway! You bastard!
All charge! Let's do this!
Lieutenant Sushra, the captain has fallen. You have to take command.
Very well, then. There's no way to win this battle, though. We'll break through and escape!
Time for you to open up a path, you Torashino.
Yep, got it, sir. Charge! All troops!
It seems impossible.
Does this mean we actually won?
We weren't able to wipe them out properly, but sure, you could still say we won.
He really did.
Okay, everyone quiet down. Quiet down! Now then, unfortunately, it's lecture time for my valiant men. First Private Quimp.
Huh?
First Private Agee. First Private Bio. Corporal Tobot. Come up to the front. Okay, guys, what gives? I clearly warned you beforehand, but you still charged too far ahead on your own. What the hell was that? Each platoon doesn't need heroes. We work as a unit. Instead of spending your energy trying to win 1-on-3, you should really be focused on figuring out a way to fight 3-on-1. That's the scientific way of working out a problem.
Scientific? What does that mean?
Logical, streamlined, efficient, and as a result you can get away with being lazy. It's a wonderful way to think. Why did people start farming? Because hunting without knowing if you catch anything was annoying, and a waste of time. Why did people start digging wells? Because going all the way to the river was a big old pain in the butt. So you see, laziness is the mother of human progress. It inspires creativity. Consider, why should war be any different? If you can slack off during a war, then I say you're doing it right. So follow me, Ikta Salork, and you'll live the sweet life. Ikta Salork's men don't toil, they fight easy, and therefore they win easy. Long live laziness. Long live sloth. This I can promise you. Everyone who follows me gets an easy life.
Eat this, Alork. I'm with you.
That went almost too well.
Weird. Man, how'd he do that? We took our eyes off him for a second, and now he's a demigod.
Happened while I was looking right at him. I was damn near moved to tears, and I don't even know why.
Yeah, it appears I might have spread it on just a little too thick. Come on, guys. It's enough now. I get it. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you. Torway.
Yeah?
What do you think about a war of attrition?
I think we waited for our best shot, and I think we were right.
I'm glad. I agree.
Oh, I ended up seeing Princess Shamil while I was hiding out all that time in the forest. She was moving towards the west at a pretty fast clip, and she had her royal guards with her.
She probably went to go see Yatri, right?
That's almost the exact opposite direction, Matthew. And the princess would definitely know that, wouldn't she? She should have no reason at all to head west.
Where is he? Do you see Salork anywhere?
You bastard! Princess, get out of here!
So Salork isn't really injured after all. This was just a trick to lure me out. Captain Isan-ho, why are you doing this? Salork.
It's time. The mock battle is about to be over. Should we send up the signal to surrender?
Why should we? Why even suggest it?
Captain, Lieutenant Sushruth is in charge now. It's his call.
I am not letting this happen. No, not me. I will never surrender.
Refusing will only damage your own reputation. You'll be the commander who didn't know when to give up. If you surrender now, at least you can still say you succeeded in your final retreat. Make the right choice, sir. They're using sound instead of light to communicate. West. The princess. It's imperative that I head toward the west and take my 8 troops with me.
Because of the signal.
Yes. Sounds like something's happened.
You should take the remaining 2 from my squad as well. You saved my older brother's life during the first battle. I'm grateful for that.
If we can get to the road, the carriage will be waiting for us there, and then the mission will be complete.
Thank God. It's almost over.
If it hurts you to look at the princess, I suggest you don't. You knew what you were in for from the beginning.
Yes, sir.
They whittled down the tip instead of using a regular arrowhead. A light troop would have started this off by attempting to blind us. And you can't be medics, there's no doubt about that. Which means one thing. You're obviously a fire troop that's very low on equipment. Isn't that right, Warrant Officer Yatarishino Ixum? Now, go ahead and fire your second round, then we'll see what happens.
How'd she do that? You're wondering. Right, Captain Isan. You try anything, and I swear your head will hit the ground the very next second.
Very well. All forces shoot her now. Your objective is to kill.
You got lucky this time. It would appear that your men don't want you dead. That must be a pretty good feeling.
And here I thought I'd trained them much more thoroughly than that.
Princess.
Yatari? Where am I?
Your Highness, are you alright? Are you hurt?
Let me go!
Please don't worry. I'm here now. I've got you.
Wait, no! I want to learn!
Ikta will be here very soon. Release the princess immediately.
Are you at all interested in our motive here?
Motive for what?
The reason we chose to abandon all of our pride as soldiers and resorted to committing this crime. What you don't know is that we're all students of General Hazaf Riken.
But he would never do this.
Yes, you're right. He was a talented commander and the very best of men. But he died needlessly during the Battle of Eastern Garrison.
I think I see it. So what you're after is...
That's right, Princess. We've deserted because we must avenge our beloved teacher, who died as a sacrificial lamb to cover up the Empire's colossal political failure. So your worthless life is over. You will pay the price.
Princess, get back.
I'm not one who likes raising my voice, but sometimes I admit it's worth it. Keep an eye on the surrounding area. Fire Spirit, you move and your master ties.
Please stop this, Yatari! Hold on! I'm begging you! Please let her go! I'll command me!
You alive? Princess, are you safe? Talk to me. I'm so glad.
Yatari?
Yatari? You okay?
I can't drop my sword.
Man, you sure know how to make a mess, don't you? You know, those stains will be a pain to get out.
Ikta.
Hey, Yatari? You know, stop me if you're already aware of this, but you're a completely red lady right now.
I don't mind the blood, but I hate that I smell like metal.
Metal, huh? Well, that's got nothing to do with the blood. You smell metal because you've got big chunks of it in your hands, right?
No matter what happens, don't forget that I'll always be your left hand.
See? Better, right? Good job.
Thank you. But you know, I think I might be a little too tired to talk anymore.
You have a bad habit of working too hard. I keep telling you, slacking off's the way to go. Would you care to give me an explanation for this, Captain Isan Ho?
They told us they were students of Lieutenant General Haza Freakin.
I hate to say it, but I completely understand your motives. I can't even bring myself to condemn you for them. Truth be told, if things were different, I might have been beside you.
Hey, Ika!
Your tactics remind me of Lieutenant General Riken. Actually, they might even be more reminiscent of the general who taught him Bada Sangre. Is that just a coincidence?
Well, it's... Iku, it's over. Yeah, it is. It's been a crazy couple of days. Kinda makes you miss our little camping excursion in Kyoka, doesn't it? Hey, Princess. That's quite a colorful new outfit you've got there. Or did you maybe spill it?
Welcome to the exciting world of science!
General Sangre, I have a question.
How about you call me Uncle Bada? Now, what's on your mind, my young friend?
Who's up there in the balloon and what are they doing?
My son took it up for a spin.
As far as I can make out, that balloon is almost identical to the ones commonly used in Kyoga.
Do you want to go up next?
Sir, if that's in order, then it would be my honor.
If I order you, huh? You are definitely your father's daughter, aren't you?
What does that mean exactly?
It just means I underestimated his teaching style a bit. But hey, that's not your problem.
Hello there. My name is Honorai Khan. I guess you might say that what I do is represent this small group of scientists.
But what's a scientist?
And you may call me Dr. Honorai. Oh, Ita, how about if you take over for me?
Leave it to me.
Dr. Honorai, what is that you're making?
Well, let's see. Egg yolks, milk, some sugar, and a little dash of cinnamon is all. We mixed that up all together, and then we added it to a pot full of frozen seawater.
But why? Doctor, may I ask you a question, please?
Of course, go ahead.
I want to know exactly what science is. Will you tell me?
Very well, then. I'll start by telling you about a discussion I once had with a priest when I was much younger. Oh, Nazuna, 2 cups of tea, if you would.
Don't give up, Brother Bajin. Gotta keep shaking.
Why am I always stuck doing stuff like this?
So, that's about it. Think you've got it?
You mentioned several words I wasn't familiar with, but I think I understand the gist of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like science is a field that attempts to explain things which, in theology, would be considered acts of God, or miracles with no logical meaning or explanation.
She's pretty smart, this one.
She is. There's no doubt about that.
It's ready. Go ahead and try it.
If you insist.
Can I get you some more?
Uh-huh. Well, God, think one of your pieces of fruit can top this flavor combination?
sorry. You see, sword fighting isn't my thing.
I'm the one who should apologize. I should have been paying attention. I was so focused that I almost injured you.
Well, it was my fault for interrupting you. Now, can we talk about the way you speak? Do you have to do that?
I don't know what you mean. Is something wrong with how I talk?
No, it's not wrong. It's just stiff. Always sounds like you're applying for some job. I mean, I get that you're into using proper etiquette, but when you're with kids your age, couldn't you, be more casual?
Well, if I'm being honest, before I came here, I'd never even met another kid my own age.
Wow, I can't imagine what that must have been like for you. I bet that means you don't even know how to play like a kid, do you? I know what we'll do. Why don't you come and play with me for a bit? My dad gave me this, so we're all set to go.
What is it we're doing exactly?
Mission number 1. Make Major Guihan fall into a hole. Like clockwork. He always comes by this way to wash up in the mornings.
You can't fool me, boy. You put a real hole right next to the fake dummy hole. Did you really think I'd keep falling for the same stupid trick over and over?
Man, I really hoped you wouldn't be able to figure it out.
Look, give me a little credit for not being a complete imbecile, would you?
Yes! See, if 2 holes aren't enough, I am not afraid to use 3. And with that, our first mission is now complete. But we'll knock out 4 more of them today. This one's a little bit hard. All we have to do is sneak some ingredients out of the kitchen. The thing is, the kitchen is guarded by a fierce protector. Chief Cook Maribon Sousa, a.k.a. Old Lady Mari. She's tough to get past.
I think you should let me do it.
So you're the guest they've been buzzing about. Even old man Enterprise spoken of nothing else since yesterday.
I was interested in seeing how the cooking was done in these parts.
Oh, it's nothing out of the ordinary. You keep it nice and simple in order to make large quantities of good food fast for the hungry soldiers.
That was amazing! You even got it all to land neatly on a pile of hay.
As long as you understand an object's weight and shape, you can throw it in a clean arc by adjusting the strength of the toss. That's just basic artillery mechanics.
It's like having friendly research papers in my pocket at all times. Well, here we are.
May I have permission to come inside your house?
Did you think I'd invite you over, then leave you outside? Mom, I'm home!
Welcome back, Ikta. Have we met? I'm Yaturishino Ixum. I've been accompanying your son today, ma'am.
And I'm Ikta's mother. You can call me Yuka.
Thanks for being a friend and playing with him today. Oh, it's my pleasure.
I brought you what Dad ordered. I don't think I missed anything. That's mostly thanks to Yaturi, though.
Is that so? Lunch is ready soon. Why don't you and Ikta go and play until I call you? No thanks, I should probably go.
Do you by chance play chess?
Yes, I had to learn to play as part of my officer training.
Great, 1 game then.
I'm home. Oh, man, I am starving. Hello there, Yaturi.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me, did you succeed in your mission today?
Of course we did. We did it all together. But this is Yaturi's first time, so try not to be too hard on our old man.
Oh, hey, check that out. You're both using castles in a close game.
Okay, it's ready. Come on, lunchtime. General Sankre, may I ask, do you always get to live here in your house with your family?
Yep. I've never wanted to go transfer around and leave them behind.
As long as I'm here, my mom will be just fine. So you go wherever you want, old man. You don't have to make Uncle Shiba and Uncle Rakondo do all the running around.
Don't even try to fool me, son. You know you'd be desperately lonely without me.
No way. Keep on dreaming, mister.
Yaturi, dear, later on we might make a cake. Would you like to help us? It's for Maribon. I think we need to give something back for what we borrowed. Sure.
We win! Mission catch the biggest fish in the So you're gonna be a soldier, huh?
Yes. I'll be going to officer school.
Yeah, I get it. It's honorable and all, but why not be a scientist like me?
Me, a scientist?
The 2 of us could work together. We could travel around unraveling the world's mysteries. Monsters and that kind of stuff. Seriously, think about it.
There's no point in thinking about it. I'm following the narrow path of all soldiers. It's been decided for me from the beginning.
But that doesn't make sense. What's important here is whether you want to do it or not, right?
It makes perfect sense to me. I was born a daughter of the Ixon family, and I know exactly what it means. I know what I should be. That's really all there is to it.
I can't accept that.
It makes no difference whether you accept it or not.
Oh, it sure as hell does. If you're not with me, those monsters will eat me up.
Well, I'm sorry, you guys. I know it's no fun going on a boring expedition.
Oh, no, it's fine.
It might be a nice break. You 2 have been doing nothing but military exercises, and we've been lonely.
I guess it really has been a while, hasn't it? Weird not to have soldiers trailing behind us.
Yeah, and it feels like I should have a lot more weight on my back.
Huh? A geological survey, too?
What? Please don't tell me you forgot. Did you leave the
Well,
tools?
yeah, it sure looks like I did.
You idiot!
Thanks to brainy brother Bajin, it looks like we've got the whole day out here to ourselves, huh? Hey, by the way, did you find an axe? Hey, Yottery? Man, that scared me half to death. I had no idea there were any wolves this close to the base.
They're all skin and bones.
The drought's been going on for a long time now. They've got to be starving.
That explains why they ventured away from home. Is he the main leader, you think?
I guess we could always wait it out in here. But even that's risky. They might attack Brother Bajin and his group when they come back. So, besides your 2 swords, these are the weapons we've got, huh? Killing or driving back every single wolf around this shed. Looks to me like that's the mission we're faced with now. Deadline is 9 in the morning. Do you have any objections?
None at all. So it's time to come up with the plan of attack. We got him! It was a hit, but it wasn't fatal.
They're breaking through the back wall!
So this side was just a decoy. They're getting further away.
What do you think the chances are they give up?
We've shown them that any attempt they make will be costly. So what it really comes down to is how hungry they are.
The leader of the pack really does seem exceptionally smart.
That's why we can't be too careful. If he hasn't given up after all that, then who knows what he'll do to get what he wants.
If only we could actually talk to them. Then maybe we could work something out.
My father once told me, even humans don't start negotiating until all of the bullets have run out. He swears that no matter what, those 2 things will never happen in the opposite order. That's a hit to the head, so they've got 1 down.
Roger, the 2 in the front are staying well away from the front door. Who knew this would happen? They're coming after the weakest point. If you become a soldier, will you be doing this kind of stuff all the time or what?
My second shot missed. Did you say something?
Nope, nothing. But I took one out too.
Look out! Listen carefully. If you don't stay behind me, there's a very good chance you're going to die.
Yeah, I believe you. I'm glad I got this ready for us. You know, I've been thinking, maybe we could actually talk to the leader of the pack. He really seems intelligent.
You're one of those people who talks a lot when you're nervous, aren't you?
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. It's super helpful. I'm about to cry over here.
I know how you feel. I'm really scared too.
That's an invitation. I not only heartily accept, I'll even give you the comfy side of the grass if you promise not to snore too loud.
Anyway, Sally, what's got you so engrossed?
Oh, yeah. Honorai's box is about to open.
Whose did you say? What box?
It's a safe, basically, with intellectual property inside. Did you know? I can't remember if I've told you how I once studied under Honorai Khan.
The scientist who sought asylum in Kyoko, right? Yeah, you did. I remember. You said you learned a lot from him.
Yeah. I'm proud to say that I'm one of his many students. The results of all the research we worked on during our time together were put into Honorai's box as a safety measure. And we were the only ones who were able to access them. But he had to make a trade. You see, in exchange for recognizing his claim of asylum, Kyoka demanded new technology with military applications. And so, in an effort to keep things balanced and fair, he told us exactly what he was going to give Kyoka.
Okay, so could you tell me again who's giving what to who?
Just forget it. You're right, it's boring. But what it comes down to is that the battlefield is about to evolve again. Not a waste of good knowledge.
I can't believe it's time to go to the northern region. I heard we're headed to the garrison in Somi. Yeah, it's at the base of a mountain range in the sticks, and that means those Sinnoh kicks will be everywhere we look, so you know it won't be safe.
Hey, did I just hear somebody knocking the northern region? It's just good old-fashioned prejudice to think there's nothing worth seeing in the sticks. Shame on you, Matthew. You talk that way because you're clueless of the wonders of the Sinnohs.
How is it that you know so much about those people anyway?
I stayed in the Sinnoh village with Old Man Honorai as part of a research expedition. We investigated the weather and geological strata in the mountains, but my personal favorite part of the trip was getting to know the locals while we were there.
But they're just mountain barbarians, aren't they? So how much fun could that possibly be?
Well, if I had to give one reason, the girls are beautiful and very energetic.
Hold on, I thought you liked older women. You and I have different standards, so that's not helpful.
I'm not just talking about their appearance. Thing is, it's an extremely matriarchal society, and as such, they've created some unique traditions. For example...
the girls visit your bed at night? That's just lewd and unheard of.
The world's a diverse place, bud.
You guys sure are in a good mood. What are you talking about over here?
It's probably safer if you don't ask. 9 out of 10 times, it ranges from indecent to perverted.
No. It was all on the up and up. I wasn't
By
being...
indecent, I suppose you mean something like how lovely Haru looks when her shirt hugs her sweaty chest like it's doing today. So that if they're lucky, even a casual observer with a little effort can easily pick out the shape of her gorgeous attributes.
Apologize, now. Only a disgusting little boy would say something like that about a woman.
Well then,
Oh, we were talking about the north.
that's right, the 6-month deployment is coming up. Outside of dealing with thieves and monitoring the mountain people, it's a very dull post from what I've heard. Yoderi, don't you think you might get bored being stuck in that atmosphere?
No way. It's just perfect for me. My goal is to get as much real experience under my belt as I possibly can.
Well, it seems you're the only one. I sure wish a certain other person was as enthusiastic.
Kana! They're finally here! The newbies! The brand spanking new officer cadets! Oh? And get this, I've heard that the ones who rescued the princess are part of the group too!
Once again, I ask you to join me in welcoming the high-level officer candidates, as well as their remarkable training units as they join us in the great fight. We at the Northern Garrison are very glad to have you here among us. I hate to jump straight to the unpleasantness, but I know you're already aware of the devastating fall of the Eastern region. If only my men and I had been there when the Kyokan ruffians dared trespass on Imperial land to challenge our sovereignty as a kingdom and our safety, everything we hold dear. But it's impossible for us to defeat these barbarians alone. The success of our counterattack on Kyoto will depend on the loyalty of every one of you. As the up-and-coming future leaders of our great military, I pray your patriotism is strong and steadfast. Sorry for the short speech, but I'm afraid that's all I have today.
In what universe was that short?
Eternal prosperity to this beautiful land, which we will protect and defend with our lives on behalf of the Emperor! The Emperor!
Please, feel free to continue your chats as I say this. I am the garrison commander's aide. Pardon me. And my name is Major Yushiram Toak. You can come to me if you have any questions about what it is you'll be doing here.
Jeez, you think you'll make it to the end of the speech? Is it just me, or does it look like this guy's about to drop dead?
I'm sure he's got a lot on his mind. Since he's working for a boss who doesn't have one of his own.
That's everything. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask them.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious who runs things around here.
Hey, how are you enjoying your night?
It's good. Thank you for asking.
You have a light spirit too, isn't that right?
Yes, that's correct. I'm Warrant Officer Ita Salor. We're in Light Troops 2 and 3. This is my partner, Kus.
I'm First Lieutenant Simpa Sazala. I'm going to be your instructor while you're learning the ropes here in the north. And this is the Light Spirit, Key, my partner. Good to meet you. Everyone's been talking about some problem child mixed in amongst the new knights. Would that be you?
Thing is, I don't really fit in with those guys, so for the most part, I just try to keep my distance.
Yeah, I gotta admit, you don't look very much like a knight. That handsome dude over there is the more usual type.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, wow. That's pretty harsh, man. I hate him. I hate any guy who has women fall all over him without even having to try.
Whoa, chill.
I've been waiting for this, daughter of Ixum. Will she dare to present herself to me?
Well, here I am. What do you want from me?
You listen well. My name is Jane Kunhargunska. I am 26 years old. My rank's warrant officer. I know your family's reputation. So let's let our blades do the talking.
Lieutenant General Sophia, I've received a request for a duel. Is there someplace more appropriate that we could use, sir?
Well, here is probably fine.
Very well, you can duel here. Beware, though. Warrant Officer Hargunska's skills with a blade are among the finest to be found in the entire northern garrison.
Hey, why would you give it back?
The two-blade style of the Ixum clan is for fighting multiple foes at once. If I only have one opponent, then I only need one blade.
Oh, then I assume you don't have much faith in my ability.
This is such a vulgar display. Yatari skills aren't meant to be gawked at.
That's actually incorrect. Hey, the Ixum style is meant to be gawked at. It's tradition for them to be challenged whenever an Ixum arrives at a new garrison, a farce for our entertainment.
But why?
The two-weapon style is a special privilege, given to the Ixums by the Emperor, to show they're invincible. As long as they don't lose a fight, the military will continue to allow it. So this is all just a show for them to gawk at. The Ixum family values order in the Empire above all else, to continue carrying the two swords on their belt. They must be consistent in meeting open challenges to prove their superiority, and in doing so, they ultimately protect that order.
Has she been pushed back? I can't quite tell.
Not yet. She hasn't been able to hit back, but she's not right. Her position hasn't really changed at all since the start of the battle.
The Ixums truly are the embodiment of the idea of invincibility.
Your strikes were as strong as steel. It was my great honor to have the opportunity to fight you.
Magnificent, Yatarishino Ixum.
So showy. I suppose that's Yatari for you.
Now she does all of it to protect the order of the Empire. She risks her life to protect you because she believes, without a single shred of doubt, that you will fulfill your duties as a member of the Imperial family for the rest of your life. Don't ever forget that, Princess, no matter what. No matter how great your dreams might be. Don't ever forget that she believes in you.
Well, to be honest, you guys got here at a great time. Things were pretty tense until just a little bit ago, since it got so bad at the Eastern Garrison. We were worried they might call us in for reinforcement.
Are you saying you didn't want to go?
I don't know who in their right mind would want to.
Hold on. Assuming the reinforcements were large enough, the course of the battle might have really been changed for good.
Up here we have a specific term for courageous people like you. We call your kind Central-type soldiers. You know, the people who stay motivated even after coming up to the north. Folks like that are in the minority around these parts. If the truth be told, it's really all because of the Alapatra Mountains.
Why? What about them?
That's right. The Great Alafatras are called the Stairway to God. If I'm not mistaken, no enemy has ever crossed over these mountains in the history of the Empire, right?
Yep, that's correct, Warrant Officer Remian.
Even without external threats, I assume there must be internal ones among the locals.
That's right. You hit the nail on the head. That is exactly what our job here is.
You're saying our duty is to keep the Sinnoh Mountain people in check. Is that right?
Yes, it is, officer. These people are considered Imperials, but they are not Katyavarnans. We've had several small-scale conflicts with them over the years, but none caused major harm. Then, about 2 years ago, they suddenly stopped causing trouble of any kind at all. In the last 6 months, we haven't even sent out a single punitive raid to the villages.
Lieutenant, what's the point of this exercise? We've been going over the same area for 3 hours. I don't see how this is training us for anything.
Very true. This is a thinly veiled threat, which we're calling an exercise. We show up our forces and use the silent pressure of our presence to keep the peace. Officer Salork, I'm amazed that you have nothing to say about this.
Reporting in first, Lieutenant. I have a message from Warrant Officer Salork. I've broken military regulations and voluntarily entered detention barracks. The regulation I broke was regarding leaving the squad during exercises.
I refuse to accept this. Why are all the books in our barracks being confiscated? I want to know what kind of harm they could possibly cause.
Private First Class Khan, is that how you were taught to address a superior officer? Daring to lecture me with no rank?
If you got time to read, then I'd suggest a run instead. Huh.
No, wait!
I'll just assume this is yours then, shall I? Considering that dramatic reaction. Wait, this book was authored by Honorai the Blasphemer. Do you even know what that means, girl?
Sir, you know the contents of that book have nothing to do with the author himself.
Shut up! I've had enough of you. Brace yourself, little girl.
Hey now. That's not even close to the correct way to use a book.
Ah! Who the hell are you?
I'm just a passing Imperial Knight, sir. No more, no less. My goal in life is to banish all tears from every girl in the world.
An Imperial Knight? One of the ones everybody's been talking about?
I apologize for the rudeness. But you see, something very fascinating has just occurred to me. It's about the invention of the printing press, which made attaining books far easier for some. And now some books are extremely popular. They're still not easy to come by for the average person, though, because they're not cheap. Which means that even used, this amount of books is worth quite a lot. And that was the idea, wasn't it, First Lieutenant?
Meaning what? Watch yourself.
My God, were you really going to take all of our books to sell for yourself?
Oh, don't be such an idiot.
The Rose of Miyakane, The Life of Delise. Those are very wise choices, sir. You probably already have buyers lined up for these, don't you?
Bastard! Enough with your talk! I was planning to let you off easy, you know. Just because you're one of the favorites of the third princess.
Answer me this. What are your feelings about insects in general?
Insects? What do I care? Bugs are bugs.
But some of them are poisonous and therefore truly threatening, First Lieutenant. So they can be dangerous to handle if you don't understand them.
Like everything else, the heart of a real soldier is strong enough to overcome that.
Oh, dear Lieutenant. If you think having a soldier spirit will grant you omnipotent powers, you're gonna get hurt.
You know nothing, you trash!
There you go. Mission complete. Hail Lieutenantula. They stay out of direct sunlight during the day, so you can almost always find them hanging out under eaves and roofs. If he'd read this book, he actually could learn that for himself. Is this yours? Here you go.
Thank you, Warrant Officer, for your help.
How would you feel about calling me Ikun? And may I ask your name?
Yes, of course. Northern Garrison 1st Regiment. Private First Class Kana Tamari. And my partner, Tab, the Wind Spirit. Very nice to meet you. Mr. Ikun, was it?
Mr. Ikun, huh? Yeah, okay. So, hey, Kana, tell me, what's your very favorite part of that book?
I think I'd say the analysis of the Aldera religion of the Empire.
Really? The Aldera religion? The part about the spirit worship of the Synox didn't strike you?
Oh, sure it did. In fact, studying them both alongside each other is really fascinating. The book says that when you analyze the Aldera religion, in light of the Synox spirit worship, it raises a lot of interesting questions.
I never thought I'd see the day when a soldier would ditch exercises to go pick up girls!
Don't worry, we'll see each other again. Because we're both avid students of science, you see. If you're reading that book, that means you're a lover of truth and a student of honor, right? Just like me. You and I are fellow students and comrades.
Yeah. I hope she was worth it. And you know, I truly hope you'll
Fellow
alive
students?
to see her again, you idiot. This is your lot for 3 days. No food, no water.
Are you kidding? That'll kill me.
Well, maybe just until you stop talking all the damn time then. Man, how does the dude end up turning out like you anyway? Seriously.
I'm sorry to say it was 100% bad luck.
I doubt that. I mean, I heard you were a weird one, but... Hey! Hey, don't go that way! Stop!
First Lieutenant, what is this? Good to be alive.
You feeling more like your old self?
Oh, my bad. I forgot to come get you. First Lieutenant Sazalov, you're gonna regret this.
You've only got yourself to blame. Do you think you might be recovered enough to remove your head from the princess's lap now?
Well then, Salork, I'm waiting. Do you have anything you'd like to say to me?
Let me think for a sec. If your lap had a little more meat on it, it would probably make a much better pillow. Not to sound ungrateful.
You can just lay there and die for all I care!
I really hope you get well fast, Ikta, because right now you're a real pain in the neck.
Oh, yes, you're the best!
Oh, Yoderi. Did you save those for Ikta?
Nope, I was saving it all for myself, but what you gonna do? Boy, do I wish I was on a horse right about now.
I imagine escorting a supply train must seem quite boring to you, Warrant Officer Yatarishino.
No, I'm well aware of the importance of this mission. However, I do wonder about one part of it. Why would a high-ranking official like you accompany us?
There are very specific reasons for me to do so. Building a base places a rather heavy burden on the locals, so it's my job to see that they're kept happy and cooperative. Politics, you see. Are you disappointed?
Not at all. That's what the military is supposed to do, right? I think war's purpose is to uphold the peace. Therefore, it's counterproductive to destroy peace to support war.
You may well be right.
Oh, we finally made it.
Hey, are we there yet?
Ethan, what are you doing?
No yelling, okay? Anywho, how's it going with you, Kana? Besides the obvious fact that you look adorable with that ribbon in your hair.
Were you hiding in the back of the wagon the whole time? It's no wonder it was so
I beg your pardon. I had quite innocently fallen asleep in the back of said wagon, and you began pushing it without asking me.
You're such a liar. If that were true, why were the first words you said when you got out, "Are we there yet?"
Right, you need some water. I think the dehydration has gotten to you.
But I can't. The order was for me to wait right here.
You need to make the best use of your time. How often do we actually get to visit a town?
Oh, can I help you, young?
Hello there, madam. You're looking lovely today. So sorry to bother you, but my friend and I are incredibly thirsty, you see. That was very kind of her, don't you think? Giving us sugar cane to tide us over till the well.
You know something, Ikun? I'm getting a very distinct impression. You're one of those lady killer types, aren't you?
That's a common misconception. Truth is, the older women of the world all seem to have wickedly conspired together to seduce me. At any rate, I was pretty relieved to see that she wasn't at all put off by my uniform. We're lucky that the people here don't appear to have a problem with soldiers.
Yeah, that's true. This is an important supply base for the army. Major Toak insists we're careful about how we interact with the locals. He's always been very adamant about that.
What about Lieutenant General Safita?
From what I've seen, he mostly just puts the major in charge of everything.
The guy at the top does nothing, and Major Toak keeps an eye on him along with everything else.
But there's one significant exception, though. Whenever the Synod happen to be involved, General Safita is always the one to personally give the order.
The Senok? Why is that?
I don't really know. If I had to guess, though, I'd say it's because he actually enjoys being mean to them. That's how it's always seemed to me, anyway. There's just something about the way he acts.
So that's what it was actually all about, then. First Lieutenant. This isn't right. There's something innately wrong about this. I know that spirits aren't able to move if they can't have light. And if you tore these spirits away from the ones with whom they're contracted, that would go against the teachings of the Alderans. This is spirit abuse, and you know that's what it is.
Might as well tell you this now because you've already seen it. These orders are from the top, directly from Lieutenant General Safita.
Somehow I'm not surprised. These spirits came from the Synok, didn't they?
You're pretty smart, kid.
I only see wind and fire spirits. I guess that figures. Without those two types, they aren't able to be nearly as effective when they fight.
It's a desperate measure by a desperate man that's intended to break the will of the Synok. To be honest, considering how quiet they've all been lately, I'd say it seems to be working like a charm.
This is not the way to maintain the peace. On the contrary, we've now given them the greatest reason of all to go to war, retaking their partners who were so cruelly stolen from them. What a simple, powerful reason to fight.
Hey, Ikun?
Hey.
I have something I'd like to ask you.
The answer is yes, Kana, but there's no need to ask me. You know the right side of my bed is always waiting for...
Would you please cut that out, idiot? Hey, so listen, it's about something I read in that book.
Ah, the Alifatra survey records. I remember you said your favorite part was the analysis of the Aldera religion, isn't that right?
Yeah, it's fascinating all on its own. But my question is actually regarding a more fundamental issue.
Well, go ahead, shoot.
The Synok, they never mention God. Don't you think that's strange? They speak of the four spirits. But they never seem to mention Alderamin by name at all. It's like he doesn't even exist to them. Whereas, we believe something very different. We say the four spirits were sent to our world by God himself directly. I don't know.
No, you're really on the right track. Go on. We say they're created by Alderamin to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. So from our perspective, it makes no sense because you can't have one without the other. But for them, their religion of the four spirits exists and thrives without any reference to Alderamin being in the picture at all. And so you see, it occurred to me that maybe it's our beliefs which need to be held in question, not theirs. Think about it, and then you'll realize the spirits never tell us to believe in one God, do they?
You're dismissed, Warrant Officer. I know you don't get to go to town often.
If it's all the same, I'll wait outside.
I might need to consider ordering you to spread your wings and relax.
Possibly, though I've actually already received that order. These are the only wings I have to spread. I hope you'll pardon me, sir.
Her keen sense of humor keeps her from being overbearing. I've been impressed with her thus far. Born at the wrong time. But regardless, she makes a splendid soldier. There's no denying she's one of the very best we have.
They're rather late greeting us today, aren't they?
They could be busy, I suppose, but it doesn't seem like them to keep us waiting. Hello? I represent the commander. Let's get out of here.
The core tenets of the Aldera religion all involve strictly obeying the commandments, right? But the spirit religion of the Sinnoh has no commandments, so that's another huge difference between us right there. So then what does it...
Kana, look, you're really onto something. Just keep going and take all the time you need.
The Sinnoh religion consists merely of gratitude towards the four spirits, and a variety of festivals to show that gratitude. Their religion has literally nothing to do with commandments or rules of any kind. So if the book is right, and the Aldera religion and spirit worship are actually completely unrelated, then that means the spirit's true nature has nothing to do with being messengers of Alderamin. So everything we believe needs to be re-examined, doesn't it?
You've done it, Kana. It's incredible. You've broken the curse of God, and you did it almost completely on your own.
Wait, the curse of God?
Yes, it's the bigotry that twists the truth by ignoring anything that doesn't directly benefit its explanation of God. Unless a person is able to shake off that particular curse, they'll never be able to pursue the path of true science. You're ready!
Ethan, slow down!
For one thing, think about it. If there really was an omnipotent God, his first commandment would have to have been, "Thou shalt be lazy." Any God who tells you anything different is a big old fake.
I don't think I got quite that far. You are one weird guy, Ethan.
Finished what we came here to do.
Leave the rest to me, Major. You have my word. I will pursue the enemy for both of us.
What happened here?
Let's see. 5 Imperial soldiers down, 1 Sinnoh man, and the residents, I guess.
We have to be careful. The enemy could still be close by, lying in wait.
No, I know. Everyone who lived here is pretty much dead, huh? What is this?
They look like Alderan pilgrimage clothes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they do. Why are they here? There's no way the Sinnoh would ever wear this stuff.
You can't run. All troops, ranged weapons, ready! Call the attack now! All stand down! They had an ambush ready. People of Sinnoh, why did you slay our comrades? Explain yourselves immediately! What you've done is abominable! Oh, does it hurt when your friends die? Now you know our pain. Do you feel it? Why have you stolen our Hahashku?
Hahashku?
I bet you have them with you even now, don't you? What kind of monster would take them from us? What kind of monster are you? Do you mean your spirits? You forced us to change our lives for your benefit. We're forbidden from selling in the Plains towns. You pay us practically nothing for the millet that we grow. We can barely afford to feed our families. Then, on top of it all, when some stole to survive, you killed them all in cold blood. And then, you took our Hahashka from us! Monsters from hell! I dare you to tell me you're anything else! Give me your demands, then. What do you want from the army now? Tell me what it is you're asking for!
There's nothing we want from you. We shall return things to the way we know they should be. We'll defeat your army, retake the Hahashku, and return the world of the Sinnoh to its rightful place. You should prepare yourselves, for we shall return in glory. I am Nana Kutaru, chieftain of the Sinnoh people, and I declare a holy war in my name.
Then, they retreated to the Great Alafatra after their declaration of war, sir.
I see. And you say Toak is dead as well. Don't tell Central about it yet. Let's keep it to ourselves.
But, General,
What I'm saying is we don't need to alarm them. We can simply include it in the complete report later on. You mark my words, young man. This declaration of war is going to unite their entire tribe against us. I believe the time has finally arrived for a great purge in our land.
A holy war. Yatri, I just want to be sure. Those are really the exact words they used?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
We should go and take them head on. We need to take revenge for Major Tulloch.
Those mountain savages think they can take us?
What are you foolish drunks babbling on about? What sort of knight would get excited over a fight like this?
What the hell, man? You've wanted to go to war more than anyone else in the garrison.
You're right, I have. If our enemy is the hated land of Kyoka. However, the sword of a knight was never meant to be used as a tool for common murder.
Well, that's a bit of a surprise. Who could have ever imagined? Weren't Officer Hargunska opposing war?
I would have actually been surprised if he didn't. In my opinion, any knight should be reluctant to point a blade at his fellow citizen. Dane-kun is completely in the right.
I think so too. And I applaud Dane-kun for speaking up the way he did. That's not easy.
A holy war? What is that about?
You still sitting there mulling that over?
It doesn't make sense. The term just doesn't exist. Not in the Sinnoh language.
What are you saying?
You see, to the Sinnoh, war is nothing more than a means of survival. They consider it neither good nor bad, and they certainly don't consider it tied to holiness. The only things they refer to as holy are Hahashku, the four great spirits.
Why have you stolen our Hahashku?
That's it then. The main reason they want war is over the stolen spirits. She made that abundantly clear. It's holy war because they're taking back something holy to them. It makes sense.
I hear you. I can't quite explain it, but I just know that's not how their minds work. It seems there's only one answer. I believe someone put this in their heads, someone who could benefit from it. Hate to say it, you should probably get back to your unit.
Yeah.
Next time I see you, I'll tell you all about my thoughts on the Sinnohs and their passionate devotion to the spirits.
Listen up! We'll be leaving on a punitive expedition against the Sinnohs at 0600 tomorrow. Everyone be ready to go. We will tolerate no delays.
I'm very disappointed.
The brass thinks the front lines are no place for a royal princess, and they cite concerns for your safety. But we're all very disappointed too, Your Highness.
Oh, stop that, would you? You know you're glad to be rid of me. When our national energy is already spent, it's madness to start a fight now, with our own citizens. When I return, I want to see you all alive and well. Say yes if you vow to make it so.
Yes!
To be honest, I'm a little relieved.
But why send her back only halfway? To a base at the south edge of the northern region?
The Lieutenant General's probably got a reason. It might be that he doesn't want her back at Central.
Bingo. Given the speed at which he put together the punitive expedition, it's likely he never mentioned it to Central. He's doing this vigilante style all on his own.
Wait, what are you saying? I mean, we're still on reserve standby, right? That hasn't changed, has it?
Matthew, my friend, I'm afraid common sense arguments only tend to work on people who actually have some common sense to begin with. All we can do is pray the Lieutenant General will shock us and turn out to be one of those people.
As you're aware, our unit will not be departing on a punitive expedition against the Sinnoh. All troops be fully on guard and stay sharp. We are heading into war.
It's really happening. Civil war.
What are we doing here, Ikun? We should be with the others.
The final count was 124 casualties in yesterday's battles.
What's taking them so damn long? It's been 3 weeks already.
The men aren't used to the higher altitude, and they've encountered several unexpected obstacles. We should consider withdrawing.
They're only fighting a bunch of dirty mountain monkeys. There's no choice but to advance!
You want to withdraw our troops? What could you possibly be thinking?
We spread the bait. Simple as that.
Your orders are to transport a new batch of supplies to the next supply point on the route. You'll be delivering the same items as before. Any questions?
Sir, just to be clear, this means that we're being sent to the front lines, doesn't it?
Well, I wouldn't quite call it the front lines, though there is no denying you will be a heck of a lot closer than you are, at present.
First Lieutenant, I don't see any medics among us, so with all due respect, Where are they?
They're already well on the way to the same place we're sending you now. The need for a field hospital has become truly dire.
I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that we were taken off the reserves to go directly to the front lines.
Haru and the others are already on their way, then that must mean...
That's right. Means things are bad at the front lines. Already.
Lean into it! Come on!
Wow, I'm tougher than I realize. Come on, Azan, really try to focus on your breathing. If you keep panning, it'll just end up tiring you more.
Right. Yes, ma'am. I'll do my best, Private First Class Kana.
Halt! Stronghold straight ahead! Scouts!
How perfect. It appears abandoned, and it's on high ground to boot. Listen up. This is where we're going to remain. We'll establish our camp here.
At least now we won't have to climb anymore for a while.
Till further orders, you will defend this location to the death.
Yes, sir!
Haru. It's good to see your face. Feel like having some dinner?
Sorry about this. I hope it doesn't ruin your appetite.
I hadn't noticed. That stuff doesn't even register anymore. So it looks like the field hospital's already been pretty busy, huh?
Yeah, we're already out of bandages and medicine.
I've heard that's the case. We've been running supply missions until we finally ended up here. This definitely isn't the rear anymore, is it?
You know what? I've been thinking. I should really go make a proposal to headquarters.
Yep, I agree. The field hospital should be further back, or else at least someplace lower.
Yes, exactly. It's pretty obvious, huh?
I've just been paying attention. I keep seeing soldiers being carried down the mountain with no external wounds.
I didn't think anyone had noticed. So I should do it?
Enemy attack! All soldiers at attention!
Ikta platoon! Matthew platoon! Torway platoon! Line up with your weapons now!
The Alteration Cavalry Platoon is ordered to mount and stand at the ready.
Where are they? How close is the enemy?
It's hard to say, Captain. Since it's a night attack, I'm sure they avoided using light.
Oh, right, yes, of course not. I mean, I have no doubt we can just leave it to them.
Then we'll remain on standby. Our platoons will be armed and ready at the rear of the force. If the tide turns against us, then we'll be ready to offer our support.
Yes, I agree. On your way.
Ikta, I don't understand why we're not meeting up with the front line yet.
There'll be a lot of chaos in front. We'll only get caught up in it if we rush there. Plus, then we'll be under that captain's orders.
What you mean is, you're our leader till we get there, so you want to drag this out as long as you can.
Hang on, you want to attack if at all possible, right? And I want to move as little as possible. Tease all you want, we both win here.
I'm sorry. Did you hear the judgment in my voice? Shame on me, I guess. Maybe I should get to work on that.
The enemy?
No, our allies. Looks like they're being chased from the rear.
This isn't good. They've broken out of formation. Enemies and allies are following after them.
Attention, all infantry! Swords at the ready! Warrants officers Corway and Matthew, do not open fire until our allies have all passed. Each platoon's light troops prepare to attack. Equip your partners to your crossbows. The Alteration Cavalry Platoon will stand by at the rear. Wait for my signal to attack.
Ikta, I've got to ask you something, but I need for you not to laugh.
Matthew, my friend, I give you my word.
How can I be as calm and collected as you are right now?
Once upon a time, there was a general known for his bravery and a general known for his fear. One day, right before a battle, the scared general asked the brave general, "How can I train myself to go into battle without any fear?" The brave general thought about it, and his response to his friend was, "I would know, but if you discover the answer, would you please tell me how to do it?" We all feel the same way you do. Bravery is what we do despite that fear. Trust yourself, Matthew, and if all else fails, I got you! Keep the platoon! Keep your eyes straight ahead! Beams on! Charge! Second wave go! Matthew, doorway! Fire! Okay, now it's time to finish it! Gathering! Charge!
Draw your swords! We'll drive through the middle and split the enemy! Then we'll wipe them out!
Don't separate! Hold your ground! Regroup! Regroup!
Warrant officer, the enemy was nearly eliminated. No casualties on our side. Sir, it was almost...
Too easy?
I don't know. In a way.
If you found this easy, I'm happy for you. When you've got a bad job, the best thing to do is make it as painless as possible.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Thank you.
What for?
Just for being so kind and patient with me. You remind me a little of my mom sometimes.
Come on, give me a break. I'm not quite that old, even if I am already a widow.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
He died right after we were married, and then his family decided to kick me out. The only thing they let me take with me was a book.
A book?
They had this enormous library, and I loved it. Whenever I wasn't doing chores, you could always find me in there.
You really do love books, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I can feel my whole world expanding when I read. My favorite is the Great Alefatra survey records. Come to think of it, I wonder how Ikun's doing. I hope he's safe.
Who's Ikun?
He's kind of a weird guy, but he's read that book too, so we connected. I liked hearing him call me a fellow student.
So are you guys close?
Oh, no. We've only seen each other twice. But he's a little like a book, really. Full of ideas.
You can't wait to see him again. I can see it in your face.
You can? Oh, wow. What do you think I should say? I mean, the next time I see him.
We're completely surrounded. Just look at that. They left this fortress empty deliberately. We've fallen into a trap. We're doomed!
Hey, Suya. I'll count on you to correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't we delivering supplies to the camp at the front lines?
Yes. Why? Do you need me to repeat the order to you again?
What do you mean the camp was taken? That's just great! How are we supposed to deliver supplies if we can't get through to our men?
I'm sure that was part of their goal. We need to move forward with a plan, sir, and a full reevaluation of the supply lines.
You're overstepping your bounds! Officer Rita, Officer Matthew, I order you both to perform force reconnaissance!
Here's the thing though, First Lieutenant. We estimate that the enemy has approximately 2 platoons worth of soldiers. It may be a bad idea to fight them in equal numbers under such unfavorable conditions.
You shut your mouth! You will follow the order as given!
Okay, well if that's the case, will you at least consider giving us Torway's platoon as additional support?
I won't. I'll go! I beg you, sir. Let me go! You keep quiet!
1 hour. What do you say to that?
An hour to do what?
I believe I can take the whole thing back for us if you give me an hour. But only if you're willing to leave it up to me and my platoon.
That's just crazy. There's no way you can take that whole fortress in an hour.
Matthew, don't worry, my friend. If all goes well, it won't even take 20 minutes. Right, Hottie?
If you've been thinking the same thing I have, then it shouldn't take us much time at all. As long as we're able to get into position. I'll give you 6 for my platoon. That's including myself.
Okay, you think you could go ahead and fill me in on the plan here? Sounds like you'll have Torway's troops provide fire support from up above while we charge in, right?
That's about right. Why, does some part of that plan worry you, Matthew?
You kidding? What part of it doesn't worry me? An air gun has an effective range of 40 meters at the very best. The target's gotta be at least 150 meters away. They're not going to hit. And with only 6 people, there's no way you can fire enough bullets to make up for the drop in accuracy.
Thank you for that fascinating summary of your argument. At least you always make it easy to understand which subjects you yourself don't understand, though you managed to form an opinion.
I know that wasn't a compliment, and it's a fact that nothing you do makes sense to anybody in their right mind.
Now, just calm down. Soon you'll see.
The enemy is here! Everyone, get to your positions! Hurry it up! Every cannon must be ready! I'll stand by. We have to let them get closer. Ready? Where's it coming from?
The trick is to aim at the artillery officer's chest. Equip the bullet. And take aim at the man to the left.
How is he doing that? That hit should have been too far away.
He dug several small ridges into the barrel of the gun. That makes the bullet spin once it's shot. It shoots in a much straighter line that way, and at a much more stable trajectory. That alone makes it around 5 times more accurate than a typical air gun could ever be. It's new technology that old man Honorai put into use in Kyoka, and he told me how it was done. The air rifle.
All clear here. I'd say they're suppressed. Time to support point 2.
Pretty sure that's our cue. Let's go!
amazingly stable. So that leaves things much less open to chance. This really is revolutionary, isn't it?
So this is part of the technology you mentioned? It was hidden in Honorai's box?
Yeah, and it's still a prototype, so there are only 40 of them around.
It seems the Empire really did lose a valuable man to Kyoka, didn't we? Or perhaps I should say, we lost a pretty terrifying man to Kyoka.
I don't think that's something that we have to worry about. Old man Honorai wouldn't think it was right for one country to have a technological advantage over another. He's always been concerned with keeping things balanced.
It still blows my mind that you were able to shut down 3 cannons with only 6 shooters. It's unbelievable.
I've been thinking about it a lot. This new technology is going to change what it means to be a gunner in the army. And to adapt to this new era of warfare, I came up with a new class of soldier. That's why from now on, I'm going to be called a sniper.
What's a sniper?
Warrant Officer Salork, I'm coming to you because First Lieutenant Nadru is absent. We just received word. The front line needs help.
My camp, which is a day away by foot, is surrounded by the enemy. We're in danger of being wiped out. Please, I beg you to come back there with me. They must be rescued immediately. Please, sir.
Hey, you okay?
Someone call a medic, please. This man needs treatment, until no one of this. I'll be giving the orders from now on. No superior officers have realized yet.
Halt!
Set up camp. 2 days rest.
Are you sure? There's really no time to spare. How are we supposed to rest? We don't even know what's going on with the others out there.
And our troops are strong and ready to keep going.
I know. That's not the issue. We need to stop here. We have to. We need 2 days to prepare ourselves, or else we won't be able to continue at all.
You mean to adapt to the altitude?
We're about to fight a deadly battle at the very top of the Great Alafatra Mountains. Now, if you want to attempt something crazy like that, it's imperative that you obey what I like to call the rules of high places.
I've never heard of that.
The air is much thinner higher up, and it causes all kinds of sickness if you don't know how to approach it. Dr. Honorai had his own name for it. Alpine sickness.
Hey, hang on! When did he get so frail? Stay with me, Azan. Wait! Where are you going?
So dark. Why is it dark? I think it's day, right?
Azan!
My highest priority is keeping my comrades here safe. Do you understand? In order for me to do that, I can't skip the altitude adaptation step. Otherwise, we've lost already. So we can't go save our friends yet. Not until 2 full days have passed and everyone's been able to adjust to this altitude. This is an order. Please respect it.
Halt! Well, can you guys see anything over there yet?
I'm willing to attack immediately. You just have to say the word.
It looks like there's no need. I don't see any allies moving in the fortress. Which means it's already over.
We had the choice to go save them, or to save ourselves. You weighed out the risks. On the battlefield, you have to make hard choices with limited information. It's part of what we do.
We aren't going to be able to carry all these bodies down.
We should at least get the tags from the dead commander. Ikta?
Out of all the places. Enemy into a single decisive battle. So that's Lieutenant General Safita's master plan to win, is it?
Captain Sazalov, I have a few questions.
Okay, but don't bother pointing out the fundamental problems with the plan. It's way too late for that now. You've all made it this far. I've got some jobs you lot can handle. I know. I'll combine your 5 platoons into one big company. Officer Ikta, I'm now making you the company commander. Congrats, son.
Right. Got it, thank you. So, what exactly do these jobs entail, Captain?
Light a few bonfires. It's pretty easy. Just ignore their whining.
First you steal from us, then you torch our homes. When will it be enough for you? Have you no decency at all? You ruined
Please,
us!
just wait a little longer, sir. After the flames die down, we'll take you all to safety in a village west of here. Well, clearly, Seems I underestimated Captain Sazalov by miles. Especially the fact that he thinks it's funny to call arson setting bonfires.
Yeah, but it still wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been. What if he'd actually ordered us to execute them?
That plan would have gone into effect if the captain hadn't intervened. He's burning these people's villages and isolating them in another area, and he's cutting off the enemy's supply source so he can use them to negotiate with. When compared to Lieutenant General Safita's strategy, it's a much more solid plan. I was genuinely shocked when I saw that map. Every route we're following is separated by over 100 kilometers. The forces can't assist each other, and I expect we'll be seeing lots of deserters. It's a huge tactical failure. And to make matters worse, not only are we paying hard for these mistakes, so unfortunately are the Sinnoh. Unlike this area where the captain's plans were enacted, everyone is being slaughtered in the villages to our rear. Nothing about this is scientific. It's a completely pointless war. Okay, 8 go to this house. We can have the entire Sotoi family stay here. And then let me see.
Get out of here, you imperial dog!
Next, the Gitonko family is going to be staying in the...
Get it back! Give us back our village!
Hey there, little man. It's okay, I understand. Once this is all over with, I can promise you'll never see us again. Can we go now?
What have you done, you rats? Pick on someone your own size!
Are you all right now, son? I'm very sorry. My comrade's actions were deplorable. A bloody nose is a sign of standing up to injustice. You should be extremely proud of it. It's splendid. I made sure to swiftly punish the man who did this to you, but that's not nearly enough. Now we match, young hero. So, how do I look?
Hey, are you gonna be okay?
How dare you lay your hands on a child? I am just disgusted with you, Ita, so look!
How dare you? We're just trying to do our jobs.
You have a problem with it?
No, I don't. Thanks a lot. So, in the meantime, do you mind taking care of setting all these people up here? I don't think they'll hate you for it.
Of course, I would be delighted to.
Thanks again.
Why did you back down from him?
Making a child bleed was my own mistake. It's on me. Warrant Officer Dame-kun handled the situation for me. I'm grateful to him.
That's unacceptable. We're in the middle of a massive war here. We have a sworn duty. And that's to kill lots of them. He should be doing the same thing, not helping them. Hypocrisy. It is.
Oh, Suya, if you like unconditional kindness, but you also think it's hypocritical to offer people kindness with conditions, you might just want to reconsider your viewpoint. People can only do so much in certain situations. You can't force the issue.
Yeah, but...
Yes, we have to kill our enemies in battle. But the ones who aren't fighting deserve our help so that they can survive. Warrant Officer Dane-kun's just like us. It pains him to fight against our comrades.
He's like us? First you get rocks thrown at you, then you get punched so hard you can't see.
I'm sorry, Suya. I have to choose the right one for the job. Listen, Warrant Officer Dane-kun's a real knight, not at all like me. That's who he truly is. I can't ask him to be something he's not.
The end of the battle draws near. The few remaining Sinnoh forces are currently gathering in a large village on the other side of this canyon. That is most likely the final battle's location. I ask you to fight with all your strength and heart, and make their blood an offering to those who have fallen here on Great Alafatra. We depart at the first light of dawn, so tonight, it's crucial you get adequate rest for tomorrow's attack. Dismissed!
Is it just me, or is the average age of new soldiers younger than usual?
You're right, it is. We started with 18,000 men and 3 brigades, and now we've got less than half of that. And most died from altitude sickness, not from wounds inflicted on them. Completely ridiculous.
Aro, want to come with me to clean up? Looks like we have hot water tonight.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll be right there.
Hey, so I have a question. I've been thinking about this for a while.
Go ahead, Makun. Ask away.
How do you handle them during the war? I mean, well, you know what I mean. Your most basic needs as a man, you get it.
Matthew, my dear friend, That question divides us into two distinct types of people. Heroes who must rely on others, or warriors who are lone wolves.
That's a very interesting metaphor. Doorway, which one are you? A hero or a warrior?
I don't know. I'm not really sure if I...
Cut him some slack, Matthew. Hotties like him usually fall into the stubborn warrior category.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But I'm really directing the question at you, Ikta.
Whether it's hetero or homosexual, intercourse during wartime is strictly against all military regulations.
You have the gall to bring up regulations? Based on that alone, I think you're doing it with someone. Who is it? It's someone in your platoon, right?
Come on, even I know better than that, Matthew.
Another platoon, then? No, I bet it's another officer. That's way more realistic. Wait, is it Haru or Yatri?
Matthew, an Ixum family heir wouldn't violate that code. And Haru's a lot more demure than she appears.
Glad to see you all in high spirits. But if you're gonna talk about that stuff, keep it down.
Right, it won't happen again, sir.
This is so humiliating, Makun.
Our deepest apologies. By the way, how are you managing, Captain Sazalov?
I'm still pretending to be a hero, but I don't want to talk about it.
Spoken like a true elder. When we're back at base, I want to hear your tales of glory.
Someday, maybe.
That went really well, didn't it? Let's get back.
Hey, not so fast. What's your story? I'm not going to let you off the hook that easily. Now, let's hear the truth. So, are you a hero, or are you a warrior?
Fine! I admit it, I'm a lone wolf warrior, you happy?
Sir! Yes, sir!
We're too exposed on this terrain.
Can I ask you? Are you worried about air mortars being shot at us from the other side or something?
If they were to just line up and start firing at will, we'd be completely vulnerable.
That's a legitimate concern, but I don't think it's very likely.
Huh? Why do you say that?
It would be terribly difficult to get mortars up there, given the geography. And even if they could have done that, we'd be able to see them easily from down here.
But there's no sign of them at all from what I can tell. Oh yeah, I get it.
No, Captain Sazalov. Better safe than sorry.
Oh?
Why don't we set up some shields on the side of the officer candidate's unit?
I'm actually more inclined to trust in Torway's instinct.
And I feel exactly the same. But we may be facing more than cannonballs.
Captain, I take my words back. I would feel much safer if you issued the order to protect our flank with shields. That's a much better tactic.
Have you lost your senses? That means we'd have to stop the march and get off our horses. So would Lieutenant General Safita over there.
That's correct. And we're all well aware who the highest-ranking officer that can make said proposal to him is.
Come again? You're asking me to dismount my horse? That's pure madness!
I know it will be an inconvenient strain on you, General. I'm awfully sorry about this, but we must be prepared for an ambush.
Too much caution is no different than cowardice.
That was about the most pathetic I've ever been.
Excuse me, Captain Simpa? If I may, I'd like to say something.
Oh God, what now? I bet this'll be good.
Of all the officers who could lead us, you are the finest. We are in your debt.
Huh? Oh. Don't poke fun at your elders, guys. You kids.
They've given us the flash signal. The ambush is imminent.
Our one and only target is Tamtuksk Safita, High Commander of the Northern Garrison. We'll complete our mission under the cover of the Sinnock attack. Again, casualties are forbidden. Be prepared to dive into the canyon, but only if you absolutely cannot avoid it. We won't shame ourselves by leaving corpses. Begin the operation. Kalakar moving out.
The enemy!
These mountains are our territory! Now feel our wrath, demons of the plains!
Right above! How'd they manage to get all their troops directly over us?
Settle down now. They're attacking us because they've been pushed to the brink.
Right. We have to remain calm.
Gunfire? Is it from up there?
No, from the other side. Damn it.
Come on! It's possible. That's 200 meters away. Air guns lack that kind of range.
Ikun, they have them too?
Yeah, they have air rifles. Hey, look alive. Your men are the only ones who have equal firepower, so get moving.
Roger. I'll put down suppressing fire.
I'll protect Lieutenant General Safita.
From above! They're dropping in! Bayonets!
It isn't working!
Haru! Look out!
I got your back! Get up off the ground, Nita Solork. Even I won't save your life a second time, you know.
Thanks, Warrant Officer Dane Kuhn. But this is the second time you've saved me.
The village incident doesn't count. By the way, I apologize for damaging your honor there.
Don't worry about it. My honor can't be damaged by a mere punch to the face or getting rightfully knocked to the ground.
I see. So what would it take to finally break the unbreakable Aegis Salor?
Being unable to say what I wanted when I wanted to say it. Or even worse, being unable to protect someone when they truly needed my protection. Probably something like that.
I'm afraid I can't relate, but I understand one thing. You and I are very different. However, at the end of the day, you're a knight too, the same as I am. Ah!
Please, Lieutenant General, remain exactly where you stand.
We meet again, Red One.
I am grateful for this opportunity, Sinak Chieftain. I'm Warrant Officer Yatarishino Igsum. My partner is the Fire Spirit Chia.
I am Sinak Chieftain Nanakudaru. Hisha of the Wind is my Hahashku. I'll permit you my name, but I won't bother remembering your rank.
Whatever makes you happy. But you will remember the whispering of my blade as it ends your life.
Shut your mouth! What's wrong with Red One? At least try to find out!
Her combat is so unorthodox. Defiant yet beautiful. Stop and fight by the rules!
That's not happening!
A dual axis spin?
And full back!
The other side again? No, from below the cliff. Who are they?
Such brazenness! I will destroy you!
Wait, stay back! They're different from the others!
I'm impressed you withstood that.
Believe me, it wasn't easy. But that's all over now. I can read you like an old book.
Can you? Silence. You'll regret your arrogance in the next world.
Yeah! I'm staying right here!
Foolish girl!
That pea shooter won't be enough!
How did you...
Several things just weren't adding up here. You didn't seem to have the spirit with you, but you never hesitated to offer up his name. That was one of the clues that gave you away.
Oh yeah? Got any more insightful tips for me?
Well, no. What really made me pay attention was your boldly unusual fighting style. A good swordswoman knows better than to leave her back exposed. That's when I knew for sure. You clearly had something up your sleeve. Hisha, was it? Move and I'll kill your mistress. The battle is over now. Tell your tribe to surrender, Nanaku Daru. What are you doing? Stop it!
Save yourself. You should know.
Officer Dinku! Matthew Platoon! Surround them!
She got away.
Dane! Dane! Please don't die!
Yatari, go to him. What did he tell you?
Look after my Empire comrades, please. And then he asked me a question. As long as you're a knight, you...
It's best you do it.
She's all right. We got here in time.
This time. We made it this time. You can be a warrior or a hero. But this, I've got no patience for beasts.
worst possible way for this to finish, but it does seem clear that the Sinnock won't be able to put up any more of a fight. I think it's safe to say that this war is at an end.
It's over.
Can it be? Doesn't seem real.
It looks like we're gonna make it home in one piece. Yeah. I have to admit it's been a much rougher ride than I thought it'd be.
Most of that's the fault of our higher-ups. And then on top of that, we were facing more than just the Sinnocks.
What else were we facing?
You know those guys who showed up at the end of the last battle? The ones we had never seen before? I'm pretty sure they were Kalakarm.
Who is Kalakarm?
Well, they're the Ghost Squad. The elite special forces unit of the Kyokan army.
Whoa, wait a minute. Are you saying the Kyokan army was involved in the Sinnock rebellion?
Their tactics were far too advanced and efficient. The assassination of Major Toak, the mountain guerrilla warfare tactics, and then...
Ikun! They have them too?
Yeah, they have air rifles.
Oh, of course. I can't believe it didn't occur to me before now. Their air rifles would have to come from Kyoka, where Dr. Honorai was.
That's the gist of it.
What a glorious day to be alive, officers. You sure taught those Sinnock barbarians a lesson, didn't you? This war will be known...
Greetings to you. We come as an inspection team for Aldera. I need to speak with whoever is in charge here.
You're addressing Lieutenant General Tomtuk Safida, and I'm the commander of the renowned Northern Garrison. So what do you want with me?
We're following up on a message. We received word that the commandments of the Aldera religion were being violated in the northern region. The suspected offender is you, the Northern Garrison. And the violation is the abuse of the four great spirits. We came to discover if there was any truth to these allegations. However, it appears an investigation isn't even necessary.
Wait! I'll explain! We have our reason!
No, this isn't the time. You can make all of your excuses after you've received the official censure from headquarters.
Chase him! Why are you standing there? Go stop them! Pick a company that's still got some spirit and send them out now!
Well, there's only one company I trust.
Asaya Alderamin, the army of the nation of Aldera.
They only hold their flags upright and march that way for one reason, to execute holy orders.
So, what constitutes a holy order?
Military invasion of another country, done solely in the name of God.
Well, that's just great.
They've been ready for this for a long time, but they've been waiting for something to happen so they could feel justified in going to war. And now, here it is.
That's right. And the timing couldn't be worse. The Northern Garrison is exhausted.
It's as if someone set us up. That's it. It all makes perfect sense. On the day Major Toak was killed, we found Aldera pilgrimage clothing. We know the Sinnock used them in order to conceal their identities. The question was, why use pilgrimage clothes? However, I hadn't factored Kyoka into that mix. That was the key. Now it seems obvious they've manipulated the Sinnock. And it's worked. They've successfully spurred the priests of Aldera into invading the Empire. They've got a brilliant strategist on their side. No doubt about it.
The Holy Army of Aldera is sitting right in front of us, so our forces need to either retreat or fight! Surely you're capable of figuring out which of those things we should do, right?
We probably need to put a support unit to our rear.
I have a suggestion. We should put a retreat support unit to our rear. That way we can attempt to delay the enemy.
I agree with him. I think it's the only way.
We have less than 8,000 troops now, so it'll be tricky. Because if we want to be able to maintain a defensive battle, we'll need at least 6,000 in order to make it back to base. Which means we have at most 2,000 to use for retreat support. The question now is how to go about making the best use of these forces. I'll let my aides explain the rest.
Before beginning a defensive battle to buy time for a retreat, we'll need to draw out an initial battle and use that time to prepare as much as we can. And if we're strategic, it can be done with very few troops, one battalion of about 600.
Hold on! You're saying you can stop a force of 12,000 with just 600 troops?
Yes, sir, I believe we can. And I'll explain in more detail very soon. But right now, I'd like to make a request if I could. This plan was my idea, sir. I humbly request to be put in command of this action.
Oh, I have a suggestion regarding manpower. I think we can convince the Sinnock to help make up those missing numbers.
What? How in the world do you suggest we get them to do that?
Why are you taking these off now?
Because I think apologizing to someone while you've got them tied up indicates a strong lack of sincerity.
Apologize. Is winning not enough for you? Now you want to humiliate the losers with your apologies?
We broke the rules. Our methods were inhumane.
I refuse to hear! I'm a warrior. Did you think I'd accept being pitied and condescended to by the one who defeated my people?
I understand. And I have no intention of apologizing for the inhumanity of war itself. That's inescapable. But We do have to own up to the war crimes which we knowingly committed against your people. The senseless violence, the innocents who suffered. An apology isn't enough, of course. It certainly won't absolve us of our crimes, nor does it have the power to bring back your fallen loved ones. There's a story I once heard. It's about a hunter who lived in Alfatra. One day, he mistakenly shot a girl in the back with his bow. He used all his wealth buying gifts in an attempt to atone for his misdeed, and he uttered every word of apology that he could think of. But the girl's father only looked at him in anguish, as he silently held up a small dagger. The hunter understood what was being asked of him and why. If he used the dagger, he would never make the same mistake again. He'd remember. Ever since, the Sinnock have cut off their fingers as a way to show deep remorse and a way to atone for their wrongdoings. It's a true Sinnock tradition. How did I do? Did I remember the story the same way you told it? Nana.
You mean... Who are you?
Well, I've got a different last name. Ikta Salork. A lot's happened. I'm a warrant officer in the Imperial Army.
Oh, Ikta. Is it you? Can it be?
It's been such a long time, hasn't it? We were just kids in those days. Now look what a stunning beauty you are. Nana, I know I have no right to ask, but I need 3 big favors from you. The first of them is that you accept my apology for the severe mistreatment of your people by our army. For the second one, I ask you for the Sinnock's assistance as we repel the Holy Army of Aldera. I don't know if this will help convince you to do it or not, but I need you to know I'm sincere, so I'll cut 2 more times. They have a good plan. They waited till both sides were exhausted from fighting each other so they could wipe us all out at once. They knew it would greatly increase their odds.
You mean the Aldera nation actually crossed the stairs of God in order to invade the Empire?
Yes, but they intend to crush both the Sinnock and the Northern Garrison, and they'll do it all in the name of saving the spirits. They've made that very clear. The Aldera army is really just a pawn in this whole thing. Someone else is behind it all. The same ones who taught you those guerrilla tactics, as well as the whole concept of a holy war.
You can't mean...
Yes. The Republic of Kyoka. If the nation of Aldera succeeds, they will show no mercy to the Sinnock people. From their point of view, you're all heretics and therefore legitimately punishable by death. So this is what it comes down to. If you decide to help us now, I guarantee that when this whole thing is finally over, the Sinnock will have a place in the Empire.
Is that just a personal proposal?
It's the proposal of the Northern Garrison, and I will never let them break their promise. I know it's selfish, but there's no time. I need your answer right now, Chieftain of the Sinnock.
Well, then what's the last favor? You've only made 2 of your completely unreasonable requests so far.
Oh, how could I have forgotten the very most important one? I was hoping you would consider something for me. I'd like to keep calling you Nana.
Are you kidding? You made the 3rd cut for that?
The 1st and 2nd cuts were my apologies as a soldier. The 3rd was my apology as your friend.
If only you'd grown up to be a much worse person. My job right now would be a whole lot easier.
Sorry, although it's gotta be at least a little bit gratifying, right? I did cut off my pinky for you without hesitation.
All right. You may not have the right to ask. But as chieftain of all the Sinnock, I, Nana Kudaru, accept.
Hey, you are aware that fingers don't actually grow back once you've cut them off.
Well, you chose a really great time to tell me, huh? Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't have any other choice. I needed her trust, and there wasn't time to convince her with words.
It wasn't even your unit that misbehaved that way.
True, but that's how it had to be. I was the only one with a shot at convincing her. I don't think she'd trust anyone else at this point.
Iku, how'd it go? We've been waiting.
She agreed to send us 800 men in 2 days' time, and we owe Captain Sazalov a lot of gratitude. He put all of the people from the burned villages in one place. It shouldn't take long to gather them up at all.
Least I could do, Warrant Officer.
I apologize if I caused any trouble, Captain.
Who are you and where is Ikta? It was totally my choice to play along with your proposal. Anyway, I came out here to give you your rewards from General Safida. Warrant Officer Ikta, Warrant Officer Yadarishino, congratulations on field promotions. From this moment, you are First Lieutenants. Warrant Officers Matthew, Torway, and Haroma, from now on, your official rank is Second Lieutenant. What? Wait, what's that about? You should be excited, even if only to show off.
If we make it back, that is.
Hey, don't worry. You calm down too. If it would make either of you more comfortable, I'd be happy to transfer both your units to the rear right now.
Hold on, but didn't they already decide which units would be the retreat support?
It's not official yet. I could still get you in.
Matthew, you've changed so much since I met you. You're clearly an outstanding commanding officer. I'm proud to stand beside you. You too, Haroma. Without your skilled unit, there would have been a good deal more casualties.
It's been my honor.
You've both proven your worth time and again. You should be proud. There's no shame in knowing when to pull back.
Yatri just perfectly expressed my own sentiments. Bad luck, Torway. I hate that we can't send you away quite as easily, but seeing as you're the only air rifle unit, we really can't do without you. So then, this is goodbye for a while, you two, and the next time we meet...
Ika, who the hell do you think you are? I have only one question for you. Have I ever hindered you, or hindered the battle in any way?
Not once. You've always been a reliable comrade.
Then why? Why would you assume that I'd be any more willing to back out of this fight than either of you two are?
Oh, Makun. This particular battle is going to be a tightrope walk, Matthew.
So?
There's a very strong chance your men will die.
So?
One single wrong move and you could die too. That's all it takes, a little bad luck.
Yes! I know all this, but the same is true for you, and you're still going, aren't you? If I'm there, will I slow you down?
I take all of it back, my friend. Forgive me. I was wrong, Matthew.
I want to apologize as well. We're lucky to have you. Please lend us your help in the battle to come.
See? Was that so hard? You could have just said that at the beginning.
I'm staying with you too. More than ever, I know now the Knights are where I belong. Let me stay and look after you. Let me do what I can to turn the tide of this battle.
I'm so sorry, dear friend. I shouldn't have underestimated your resolve.
True.
Oh, wow. Sometimes I really miss being young.
As a matter of fact, I could actually use your help right now.
Why? What happened? Ita! Where the heck is your finger?
As usual, Ita's plan is bold and decisive, and we've only got 3.5 days. Time and manpower are precious commodities. But if an Alderan force with 12,000 troops wants to invade Katya Varna, they have no choice but to come through the great forest of Gagal.
So they're planning to burn down the forest, huh? They've lost whatever sense they had. This is the kind of desperate thing you start to see when you've driven someone to the brink.
Yes, but sir, we can't continue to waste time here. It's going to hinder our pursuit.
I'm having a thought. What do you think would happen if we all pissed on it? That'd put the fire out.
A very creative idea. I wish it would work, General Akugalpa, but it won't.
Jeez, this is gonna be such a pain. Speaking of that, Mishari, has the kid shown up yet today?
I've already sent somebody to fetch him. But General, I don't know how wise it is to rely on him so much.
I don't care if he's only a guest officer. If he's going to be part of the official chain of command, then he's just like everybody else. Why shouldn't I run him as hard as I like?
Looks like we made it in time. That's quite a bonfire, if I do say so myself. Don't you think so, Kus?
Ita, the wound on your left hand is open again, didn't you see? It'll get infected if you don't treat it.
When it hurts, I want you to promise me that you'll talk to somebody, okay? And I don't just mean the injury.
Haro, when have I ever been the type to keep my mouth shut?
I heard something interesting from Yajri. She said that once long ago...
Salork? Is that you?
It's already been a month now. What are you still doing out there? Come back!
Princess Jamil! An urgent report. The Lost Saya Alderamin forces have crossed the Great Alafatra mountain range to launch their attack.
The Holy Army of Aldera? Ita.
All right, then. The time has come for us to battle.
What are you talking about? Didn't we burn down the forest to avoid that because we're outnumbered?
You're absolutely right. We did. The operation with the controlled burn is going well. The enemy set fires of their own to counter it, but that's not going to make any dramatic changes in course.
In that case, if we just watch and make sure the flames don't die...
Then the enemy will just avoid the forest.
Do you think that's a possibility?
Nana, will you explain the details to them?
The Alafatra mountain range is our territory. Beyond the west edge of Valgal-Kosakan Forest, there's a narrow mountain trail. It's high and precarious, impossible for too many people to pass at once. But if you exercise adequate caution...
They will thus be able to find safe egress right near the back of our camp.
You may want to take into consideration. The Ghost Squad Kalakarm has likely told the enemy the same.
Then we need to keep their attention solely focused on us, so they don't have time to figure it out and find another way around. Hence, we must prepare ourselves to start fighting now, correct?
My thoughts exactly.
We have to find an alternate route that is so obnoxious. We didn't plan for any such detour, and of course it will take eons.
Flexibility is a core element of warfare.
Oh, stop talking like a manual. We will simply send another unit down that route in our stead.
It's too early for that tactic, sir. May I suggest you wait a little bit longer? Your patience will soon pay off.
What are you doing here? I have yet to summon you today.
With all due respect, when you're as smart as I am, you don't have to wait for someone to call upon you.
I believe that acting on your own is also called insubordination. Fine, I'll bite. Why do you think I should wait?
Skirting the blaze is actually a poor option for them, too. The longer route will certainly delay their attack even further. But the ground openings still isn't enough for us to escape safely. In order to buy enough time for the main unit to retreat, I'm going to need to pin the enemy down here for a minimum of 8 days.
Reporting. The fires ahead of us finally seem to be subsiding.
What? Are you certain?
If we left now, we could extinguish them by nightfall.
Interesting. Our situation has changed. They obviously want us to head that way. At least, that's the impression they're attempting to create.
Are you worried about Kalakarm?
I suppose so.
Captain, I have a walnut in one of my hands. Can you guess which? The time you just spent deliberating between hands is about equal to the time you've wasted worrying about ghosts. You must be more practical. The only source of power that a ghost has lies in the fear of where it may be. That paralyzes us, and it keeps us from making strong decisions. It's important to realize that's exactly what the Ghost Squad is hoping to achieve.
You're right. I'm way too old for ghosts, or even dumb ghost stories.
Great. I'll be heading off to my post then. It's hot. Like being in a cauldron in hell. The enemy could surprise us any minute. You're an utter fool. Truly. You really think you can win? Against a force of 12,000 men, with a battalion of just 600 and 120 Sinnoh? This unsleeping, shining officer of legend. Maybe he is the true genius of this era. If so, the bloom is about to come off the rose. Shut up! Please stop tormenting me. Just ignore all that.
We can't give them any chance to attack us first.
Beeps on now! Open fire!
Fire! Damn! Where'd they all come from so fast? Get as many as you can! Do it now while Liku's men have them distracted!
The carnage is too far away to see from here. Can't we get any closer to it?
No need to be hasty. I think we have excellent odds of breaking through their defenses. That's why I took them up on their invitation.
All right. Wait for the signal, then send in the next wave. As soon as you see 60 stakes, do it. That's right, isn't it, young man?
Yes, sir. I doubt we'll be able to cross that wall via brute force. Let's follow the plan, shall we?
Stakes. They're block bullets. Putting those up was the first wave's bright idea.
This isn't working! They're blocking the cannon's trajectory!
Captain, we need a word. Send us or fight them face to face. Then we'll rip the stakes out.
It's too soon for close-range combat!
Look at the stakes positions. It seems to me they're trying to sneak something past the cannons. I think they're prepping a second wave.
Can't be. Fine, do it! But just watch your backs out there. That goes for you too, Nanaku Daru.
Cannon trajectories raised. Here we go.
Okay! Shield Yatsuris and Sinnoh units at all costs!
Staying the hell off our mountains or face certain death! Nanakudaru! You
withdrew. Why?
Come on! Let's go pull out the farthest stakes now!
Air guns. Impossible, they're out of range.
Stop! Get down!
Don't stop firing yet! Let him know we're here!
Yes! Excellent timing indeed!
Watch out!
Oh my. What an effective counterattack. It appears they have air rifles. I have to admit I wasn't expecting to see that.
But I thought the Empire didn't have the technology to make those weapons.
The man who taught us how to build them, Dr. Anarai Khan, was an Imperial researcher, was he not? He probably still has some students. It would make sense if he was teaching them the same.
We carried out the order. The enemy is distracted, tending to their injured.
Good. Until they've taken care of all the fallen, they can't lower their cannons. Thank you, Captain Hera. We can finally wrap this up. Proceed, General. Now's your chance.
An air rifle unit?
First Lieutenant Ikta, look there!
They're bringing in an Escalade? This is bad. We've got wounded along that route, so we can't use our cannons on them.
Are you hit?
All right! Maybe we should head back to the barricade and hold the enemy off there? No, that leaves the Sinnock unprotected. What about Nana? Should I take an obviously huge risk to save them? Or the guaranteed safe option and leave them behind? I abandoned Nana. I have to own that. I have to decide. But there are two things I must answer first. Strategically, should I save them? And tactically, can I save them?
Okay, well, if I'm the right hand, then you better try to keep up if you want to be the left.
What am I doing? It's Yatsuri we're talking about. A change of plan. We're done playing hide and seek. Our Sinnock allies need us. Let's go!
Fire!
Nana, are you alright?
Hey, be careful, Ita! Behind you! All right, go!
Surround the right flank, hurry!
Protect the left flank, go!
30 seconds until we retreat.
Retrieve as many wounded as possible!
Back, morons! We won't last another 3 minutes out there. Open it!
We've returned, Captain. It's working.
Okay, troops, we're retreating! Now towards the place! Those little rodents eluded us again! We had a huge advantage. How did we blow it?
Well, we dragged our leverage out for too long. You see, the enemy always had the option of setting the path ablaze to seal it off. We missed out on the best result, which this time was information. The enemy is being guided by an extremely talented general, and their full number, fewer than 2 squadrons. Bear in mind, though, contrary to appearances, we haven't lost yet. We may have faltered for the moment, but still, I believe we'll succeed.
Poor souls. They just passed away. Oh no. Even Corporal Ninika? I'll go inform First Lieutenant Ikta.
Wait, not yet, Sergeant Major McCalif. I actually need to go to the command tent as well. Do you mind if I tag along with you?
All right. Suit yourself then.
Excuse me. Do you know where Ita is?
He's at the forest trail, but we expect him back soon.
Did you hear that? Let's wait here a while. Hi, Matthew. How's your shoulder injury?
Just 5 centimeters to the right, and I would have been a dead man for sure. Makes me realize that I'm pretty damn lucky to be alive.
Excuse me. I'm going to the train.
Go with her. We'll be all right here.
Okay.
First Lieutenant Ikta. Sergeant Sisindi and Corporal Ninika are dead. Of the squads you led on this mission, there were 11 casualties. 6 out of them were fatalities from the 3rd Light Troop Training Platoon.
Thank you for the report. I'll make adjustments to compensate for the losses. Go get some rest.
Are you kidding me? Don't you have anything else to say for these soldiers who were killed under your command?
Let me guess, you're referring to my decision to save the Sinnock. Am I close?
If we hadn't abandoned our own troops to save them, you know we would have had less than half as many casualties!
This is true. However, every last Sinnock would have been slaughtered.
I wish that had been the case. It's that woman's fault for charging ahead like a maniac with no solid plan. Sergeant Sisindi, well, he had enormous respect for you. Were you aware of that?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, he was a fan of yours ever since they held the first mock battle, remember? He said over and over again what an incredibly gifted commanding officer we had in you. That you'd be a legend someday. Corporal Nika was the very first person I had under my command as a private. We were some of the only women, so we looked after each other. So you're telling me their lives don't mean as much to you as those of the Sinnock, who we fought until just yesterday? That it's natural that we'd risk our lives to save them, and we should deal with the casualties? How could I? No, why should I accept that?
Sergeant Mick Khalif, I'm afraid you're blaming the wrong person. First, let me clarify something. You have to realize it was my decision to rescue the Sinnock. It was not up to Ikta.
That isn't true. Lieutenant Ikta gave the order himself. I heard him do it.
Yes, and he had to give that order, predicated on my previous actions. Ikta was positive that I would be the one to go save them, and I was assuming that he'd accompany me on that mission. If we hadn't been able to meet in the middle, my unit would have been wiped out as well. Thus, the difficult choice to aid them was ultimately mine, so I must take responsibility.
But you...
I am also compelled to tell you, the Sinnock are officially no longer our enemies now, but rather our allies. And that's neither a platitude nor a formality.
Congrats on the change of heart. But how exactly are we supposed to feel when yesterday they were adversaries, and today we have to protect them because they're our friends?
When you're following specific military orders, you're required to put your feelings aside. Every soldier well knows there may come a time when certain commands they're given conflict with their own values.
Then, if you were told to kill Lieutenant Ikta, are you telling me you'd go through with it?
That question's 300 years too late. The Igsom family is pledged to the Empire, and will follow orders unconditionally.
That's enough, Yatari. You're not leaving her an out, though it's true. Yatari may have a point, but that doesn't mean you don't still have the right to hate me. No one is allowed to dictate how you should feel. No, not even Yatari. That said, Suya, Sergeant Sisindi and Corporal Ninika proudly and dutifully sacrificed themselves to keep the Sinnock safe, per my request. How could I then turn around and abandon the very same thing they lay down their lives to protect?
I see your point, but it's still not fair.
Suya.
Until now, we never really understood loss. We could count on victory every time, as long as we listened to whatever Ikta told us to do. But that wasn't actually true. And when I realized it was when I'd lost 11 men in my unit. There's no winning in war, only killing and dying. And at some point soon, it's possible that my time will come to die too.
Hey, Yatari. When you one day receive your order to kill me, if you're unable to refuse it, how are you going to carry it out?
The first thing I must do is everything I can to kill Yatari Shino. I'll rip apart her soul, grind it to a fine powder, and throw that powder on the flames, ensuring that she's annihilated, never to return to life. And after I've accomplished that, the Igsom that's left standing.
We could have bought ourselves half a day, or even a full one.
How bad do you think that loss of a day is going to be to us in the end? Is it fatal?
No, not particularly. However, from now on, it's going to depend on them. Now that they've actually fought us, what will the Holy Aldera Army's next step be? We'll just have to wait and see.
Look at that. Isn't it such a beautiful day?
Jean, a message from our allies in the mountains.
You know, I've got to hand it to your brother. He sent exactly the information I want. I think this might be the most interesting bit. A member of the famous Igsom family is one of their own.
It's true. Even my brother has often referred to her skills with the sword as extraordinary.
Is that so? Well, then she's probably quite astonishing. I wonder if it might be partially thanks to her brilliance that we're stuck here. Somehow, that wouldn't surprise me a bit.
I know how it feels. I'm so sorry. I realize it's my fault your comrades are dead.
You don't have to apologize.
Ikta taught me the power of remorse. I want you to test me. I owe you some proof of my allegiance. I propose, as my penance, that you cut off both my arms. But please, I beg you to wait until the end of the next battle. I want to wield a sword and be of good use.
No. No, I can't. Please don't say that. It's not right. No more bloodshed. How can I... How am I ever going to be able to forgive myself? I never wanted to do this. I never wanted to kill anyone. I didn't want to be responsible for the deaths of my own countrymen. I had no idea what I was doing. Nobody told me being a soldier could mean fighting battles with no just cause.
Thankfully, the buck stops with the person who gives the orders, not with you, Sergeant. Therefore, all the ones you were forced to strike down in battle, they were killed by my hand, not yours. You've done your job remarkably well. You aren't to blame for anything that's happened here.
Maybe. But doesn't it worry you at all that you could be held accountable by God for what we've done?
Nah, you see, I have a commanding officer too. Once we're all dead, maybe he'll finally decide to do some work. So, forgive me for changing the subject, but have either of you seen First Lieutenant Ito around?
I don't understand why he wouldn't just nap in his own tent. For God knows what reason he insisted that he'd sleep on straw today.
It was something that they gave their lives to protect. And you don't see it as a statement or a platitude, do you?
Ika, you're such an oaf. If you needed someplace to lie down, you know you could have slept in my bed.
Wait, did I just mishear what you said?
Captain Sazalov! The enemy is on the move, sir!
They're here, huh? Another enemy platoon is split off for the bypass on the right. Approximately 500 mounted units. But half of their horses have 2 riders, a cavalryman with an infantryman sitting behind him.
They're more clever than I would have thought.
Yeah. It's faster than having their infantry walk. Cleverness seems to be a common theme with them.
What if we send a force to intercept? It's obvious that's what they're trying to do, divide our numbers and our strength, but we have no choice.
Agreed. So the only question now is who should we send?
Send Torway and me, we can handle it.
Or it could be Torway and myself.
Actually, I think it should be me. My reasons are pretty pathetic, but hear me out. Frankly, this battle has been beyond my ability to handle for a while now. If I'm left in charge here, I don't know that I can make the right calls. And honestly, First Lieutenants Ika and Yotorishino, I'm not convinced this operation would make it without you here. If occupying a fort and fighting a textbook war of attrition is all that's needed, even I can handle that. Makes me a failure as a commanding officer, but I know I'm the best choice. I beg you to let me go.
All right, my friend. I trust you to know what's best, but take Torway with you. Use him. His platoon is hard to beat. You'll easily have the bypass covered.
Are you sure? They're our air rifle unit.
That's exactly why. You can handle it, can't you?
Things are about to get pretty tough around here. Promise you'll stay close to Ikun and Yatri. They need you guys. We will. Hang in there.
Good luck, Torway. Take care of the Western Fort.
He's really changed, hasn't he? He stands up straighter. It's like he's grown up. He carries himself with much more confidence these days.
Yeah.
He's a lot different than me.
Hey,
Yeah?
I was just wondering. Anything that's taboo for the Aldera religion would also be taboo for the Aldera army, huh?
Sure. Why do you ask?
Wow. It's a beautiful day for a trip through the sky, isn't it, Miara?
It seems to me that if you've got time to talk, then you could go ahead and finish this up already.
Sure. I see a force of over 100 heading towards the west.
Okay, I have written it down. Let's get back to the surface. Right now, as fast as we can.
Oh, come on, let's not. It took forever to get the old man to give the okay to go up in the first place. Not that he'll admit it. As far as anyone else will know, I'm doing this on my own.
No. Sir, I can't believe what I'm seeing! Take a look at that abomination in the sky!
Ah! What on earth is he doing up there? That Kyokan boy goes too far!
I'll arrest him immediately!
These stupid little charades are not my style at all. You don't seem terribly happy at the sight of that accursed thing either.
It's the Kyokans who think it's acceptable to break commandments. But to me, even winning a war is not worth it.
I hear you, son. But it's also true that it's impossible to win a fight if all you care about is looking good for God.
I never expected them to send a blimp.
Guess we underestimated the Alderan commander. He must be a lot more flexible and progressive than we thought.
Attention! That blimp's just a recon vessel. Don't stand around staring at it. Don't even give it a second thought. But instead, think of our reality and our future. Here's the thing. In order for us to support the retreat, we need to buy 7 days at least, and a couple more would be preferable. As I'm sure you've noticed, the fire we set in the forest is burning out, and won't be long now. The enemy will attempt to cross the burnt-out parts to attack. So therefore, it's clear what our next move should be, wouldn't you say?
Clear as day. Restore the wall of flame, then repel our enemy at every turn as they try to cross the forest.
Absolutely right. An adaptive mobile defense. That's what we'll need to maintain from now on. I'll be sending a number of you out to the appropriate places depending on enemy movements and where the fire burns out. You just have to keep that up for 7 days. To pull this off, I'll ask for only one thing. Rationality. A scientific stance from all of you. For the next 7 days, I need you to be lazy in the smartest possible way. That means work when it's time to work, rest when it's time to rest. And then 7 days from now, when our mission is complete, we'll be heading back home on our own retreat. Don't doubt that future. Have faith that it's ours. As of this very moment, we commence the mobile defense operation.
Oh, wow. They're not kidding around with that barrier now, are they? I guess that means we can take a nap.
No, we can't, you big dummy!
That doesn't look like anything we'd knock out at night or by surprise. I got the plan Sean gave us, too.
You giant Udo tree! How many times do I have to tell you not to pick people up for no reason?
So, they finally made it, huh? There's no way they would attack tonight, though. They'll wait till tomorrow so they can use their air guns to their greatest advantage. Your name's Moraes, right? What's the update on the air mortars?
We brought them down from the mountains as you requested. But we only had 6 total. That work?
Yeah, sure will.
Now, it's time to pour on the oil. At this rate, it should only take about 5 minutes. All troops, stop your work! Focus attention to our front! Fire!
So the 3rd day of our mission, and we've had our first enemy encounter. That's about how I thought it would go. Go to Matthew's platoon. Tell them to take a 4-hour break. Yatri will take over for him immediately.
Roger. A report from the rear, sir. The blimp has been spotted again, near the eastern forest path.
Well, isn't that curious? And you said they've got it in the east this time?
Yes, and there are 300 cavalry running below it, going back and forth, the same pattern again and again.
But why in that area? That doesn't make sense to me. Unless, Nana, is there an eastern route they could use to get around?
No. I guarantee there's no way for them to do that.
What the hell are they doing over there, then?
The enemy unit is withdrawing!
They seem to be pretty passive, don't they?
I was thinking the same thing. With 800 in their unit, they could afford to be a little more bold.
What is it that they're waiting for?
Captain. I'm sorry to disturb you. I'd like to move my platoon to the rear. May I have your permission, sir?
Go to the rear? For what purpose? Oh no!
The Imperial Army has left their back wide open. Once our rifle attack disorients them, then our allies will be able to move in. Light up on the ridge, prepare to fire. Now go! Where's the Ixom woman with the red hair? 2 blades. What a shame. This isn't the weapon I should be holding. We'll attack on my mark. Ready? Fire! An ambush?
Keep firing! The enemy is pushed up! We can win this!
On your 3rd day at the fortress, or perhaps on your 4th day, no later, Kalakarm is going to attack from the rear. They'll do it while the sun's up. Be on the lookout.
You think so? We haven't seen Kalakarm so far in...
Not once. No. I think that's just because this area makes it difficult to attack. But you'll be at the western fort.
That's right. The western fort is different.
This is exactly the kind of chance they've been waiting for. And they'll attack from the rear. Their air rifles will be most effective from that position.
What are your orders? How should my unit handle it?
Well, first, turn the chessboard around. If you were in the Kalakarm commander's shoes, how would you attack the fortress?
I'd look for a place about 150 meters from the target, where I could easily set up a firing line.
Just keep asking yourself that question as you go. If the enemy did attack in that way, what would you propose to do in order to deal with them?
This is how I dealt with them, Ikun. Retreat now! The enemy's pulling back! I won't lose a single one.
You've got to be kidding me. You just took out Kalakarm. There's no choice. We attack.
The enemy had to split their forces to set up that ambush.
Huh? You sure? You know they're going to come right back!
Then we'll just have to knock out their fortress right now.
They're here! Roger! All troops intercept! The air mortars, are they ready?
Last word. The battle of the fortress continues on. However, they say there's no risk of failing at the moment.
Use the light signals to say well done. After that, tell them they should defend it for 3 more days. Then they can start the retreat.
Yes, sir.
So, Torway actually pulled it off.
Reporting in. My platoon is finished replenishing fires in Sector 2 in the west.
Hey, Yatsuri. Very good work.
Yeah, I had a feeling that might be the case, so I brought us some dinner to share. So, Torway did it.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive that he managed to deal with those ghosts.
Did he take out the commander?
I don't know. The report says they were almost entirely wiped out. Can I assume you're hoping to exact some revenge for Warrant Officer Dane-kun?
That's right. But either way, Torway wins this time. He's the man of the hour. Actually, we're past the point of talking about winning or losing. The power of the air rifles is overwhelming. It's impossible to compete with that. Feels like the age of the sword's finally coming to an end.
From the great Ixums of the sword to the Rimians of the gun, the star of the battlefield always changes. But even so, I don't think it necessarily follows that that's a bad thing for you in the long run. I hate the burdens you bear right now, Yatsuri. If I were to tell you that everything I'd done since I joined the military were mostly my attempts to make that burden on you a little lighter, would you be angry with me? Because if I can have that as a goal, maybe I can actually forgive myself for all of it. For breaking the promise I made to my mom. For becoming the soldier that she never wanted me to be. Ever.
I couldn't get angry at that. But even if it's true, I don't...
There's still time left, you know. I want you to use every bit of it to think about your future. And I'm going to do everything I can to help make that future a better one than what's staring at you right now. Until the day returns when you can hold your head high and be proud of who you are, I will always be right by your side. Enemy reinforcements?
They took a very long way back around the east. Our allies in the mountains were stunned. Even they couldn't see them coming.
Around the east side of the forest. That's exactly where that blimp was spotted earlier, too.
Also, there were reportedly 6 wagons, and they're pulling something big.
What could they be planning? I want to know what they're pulling. You tell our allies to find out what it is.
Yes, sir!
Hey! You did remarkably well to get here by sunset.
Begin loading. Inject sun energy. All cannons, prepare to fire. And fire!
What the heck could that be? It was way too loud to be mortars.
Ita, it sounds like...
What is that? It sounds like horses. But no, that way is all...
Explosive cannons.
What is that? And what does it do?
It's a new weapon owned by the Kyokan military. It detonates compressed sun energy to propel the shells. It's the kind of inhumane weapon the army of Aldera should despise even more than blimps.
From what I understand, an explosive cannon could destroy the barricades even from beyond the flames.
Oh my god, so that was it then? I finally get why the cavalry kept running underneath the blimp. It all makes sense now. It's simple. They were just in training.
Damn it, Ika. Okay, fine. Yes, I'll do it.
Well, Yatsuri, it's you and me against the world, huh?
Yeah.
First Lieutenant, what's the plan anyway?
I went to have a look. It's just as the map said. There's a narrow path along the top of the rock wall. I considered the possibility of sealing it off, but it really depends on restoring the fire beyond it. If we can't do that, then the enemy's main unit will still come storming right through there.
She's right. Just delaying them isn't going to be good enough. We have to defeat them, not just stall them. And we have to rebuild that firewall. The problem is their cavalry, and those air rifles. I've got to do something about their overwhelming offensive power. What else? Give me any other info you've got. I need something to jog an idea.
Well, there's a work area right up ahead, which we had been using to restore the firewall. We've still got plenty of logs and straw gathered over here. Maybe we could clutter the pathways so the horses won't cross through.
He gathers good intelligence, and uses his freakishly well-trained troops to steer the entire battle any way he likes. A commander who operates at that level, he isn't going to be thrown by a blocked path. I think I have an idea. I think it'll work.
Okay, if they're going to counterattack, it'll be up here.
Right. It's the same path we saw from the blimp. I wonder what they've got in store today. Crossbows? It'd be quickest to charge in and wipe them out.
Sean, I think I can smell oil.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Oh, now I get it. It's a fire attack. They've laid down a bunch of straw soaked with oil. Next, they'll launch burning arrows at us when we charge. Not a bad idea, truth be told. But I'm not about to play into their hands. Advance to 150 meters from the enemy at a slow gait. Then form ranks immediately and prepare to open fire. And fight! No, wait. I don't smell the oil as much. How can that be?
Okay, we've got to reform ranks now. Gather up! That was fast. Now let go!
They tricked us. Oh no, did I actually just make a mistake? Did I underestimate how desperate they were? No, I didn't! It's not a desperate measure. They got close so they could nullify the advantages of our horses and air rifles. That was a highly advanced technical maneuver. I don't think I can ever bring myself to forgive whoever dared to concoct and execute this plan. The person who humiliated me on the battlefield creating this chaos. What's that flag?
It's got red and white stripes. That means they're willing to negotiate.
Willing to negotiate? They should be begging.
We won't propose a negotiation. In this situation, that would be taken as a declaration of surrender. But if we say that we're willing to talk, that puts the pressure directly on them. It's a strong message that if necessary, we're ready and willing to fight to the last man. And if they want to talk, we're also ready to listen.
Doesn't this mean they're just waiting for us to break? What do you think we should do about it?
You can't stand this. I know you can't stand this for a second. You're a greedy commander who can't cope unless the entire battlefield is under your control. What people like you hate more than anything else in the world is when the battlefield falls into complete and utter chaos.
John, you okay?
What's wrong? Why don't you give in already? You're up. Take us to the next stage. I'm both sick of this battle. We've both had enough. Stop working so hard.
All troops, weapons down!
I am Yatarishino Igsum, First Lieutenant Imperial Army. I've come to request an audience with your commanding officer.
My name is John Alkanix, Major in the Kyoka Army. I'm a guest officer with the Holy Army of La Saya Alderamin.
I didn't expect the opportunity to meet the unsleeping shining officer. It's an honor.
And I'm honored to have been blessed with the awfully bad luck of meeting Igsum of the Sword. Now, let us begin.
Just a moment. Our commander will handle all the negotiations himself.
I thought you were the commander.
I'm sorry I'm late. First Lieutenant at your service, Ikta Solork. And I am the commander of this unit.
I'll be plain. We come seeking full surrender from you. If we continue this fight, you have no chance of victory. And we're not monsters. We don't want needless casualties.
I understand your position, of course, but my answer can only be an unequivocal no.
Can't say that I approve of you sending your troops to their pointless deaths, Lieutenant Solork. There's only one option that makes sense for you. You must surrender. In a battle of numbers, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that we'd be the winners.
If that's really what you think, then all of this is a waste of time. Why not just restart the battle right now in that case? But for kicks, we'll give you our terms too. We'd like you to pull back to the other side of the forest, and in 2 days, we'll finish our retreat.
It is true. I've had enough. I don't want any more bloodshed. However, a retreat is out of the question for me. I'm here to bring victory and glory to the holy army of Aldera.
If you're unwilling to agree to these terms, then we'll all be forced to fight each other, whether we like it or not.
If we do fight, then we will undoubtedly be the ones who will survive it. A war of attrition is the worst of all possible outcomes for me. But if it's my only choice, then I'll resign myself to it. However, my bet would be that you aren't nearly as willing to die as you've repeatedly implied.
Well, you've got one thing right and one thing wrong. First, the part you got right. I'm not willing for myself or any of my comrades to die. And now for the part you've got wrong. You won't be the ones to survive. That honor will be ours.
That's enough! We're all getting tired of your bluffing. I know how much manpower you have.
I'm afraid you're looking at this the wrong way.
What?
You keep insisting that you'll be the ones to survive based on numbers, right? But no matter what the difference in numbers may be, you can't win this if you don't personally survive. Isn't that right? 'Cause...
What is this?
Don't move an inch or your commander will die.
Well, that's a new one. You actually think a beam of light is going to kill me?
It's more than that. Oddly enough, it looks like a shooting target, doesn't it? Surely you've heard of the Remian family. I have one of their renowned gunners here. Second Lieutenant Torway. And, of course, he's got his air rifle handy. I wouldn't get off your horse if I were you. That's the signal I instructed him to wait for.
This is a violation of military treaty. Attacks during negotiations are not acceptable.
Yes, if we're actually negotiating. Negotiations require full cooperation from both parties. If you're not going to retreat, then I'll lower my flag without another word, at which point you will die. We've only got that one flag flying, you know. It won't take us a second to lower it. And we're quite prepared to do so, depending on what you decide to do next.
Ridiculous. Calling this a negotiation is a joke. It's nothing but an open threat.
How funny. You actually think there's a difference between threats and negotiations? Not in wartime, my dear friend. You know the reason you're calling the negotiations a threat? It's just because they're not going your way.
And what if I told you that I'm fully prepared to die for this, right here, right now?
Nah, that doesn't seem like you. The right choice here is the one that won't end up costing your life or the lives of your men, and I think you know that.
How dare you presume to know me so well? You talk as if we hadn't just met each other 5 minutes ago.
Just met you? There's no need to be so cold. For the past 6 days, it's felt like we've been playing a pretty intimate game of chess together. If you won't accept my terms, I'm prepared to use force. I think you and I have that in common as commanders. There's only one real difference. I put my forces in a place where they could aim directly at you instead of at others. It's just fortunate for me that you seem to have failed to prepare for that.
He's lying right to my face. He has to be. If he really had an air rifle unit, there's no way he wouldn't have some of them with him right now in order to drive his point home. There's a 90% chance he's bluffing.
That's right. You can't ignore that tiny chance I might be telling the truth, can you?
I have no choice. We'll agree.
You've made the right choice. There's nothing for you to be ashamed of, Major Jean Alcaniques. Thanks for letting me borrow your ghost, Torway. Okay, set the fire.
Lieutenant Salork, I have a question. I know the reason I'm compelled to fight. I believe in the ideals of Kyoka. What is it that moves you to protect the Empire?
I'll be honest with you. I've never once felt the urge to fight to protect my country. The thing I've always cared about, even though I've failed miserably at times, is protecting people.
You fool! It's up to the nation to protect those people. You act as though the two are mutually exclusive.
For a nation to truly do that job, they use heroes like you who are ultimately drained dry and tossed aside. And you're so clueless about being used that I pity you more than a slave right now. It's just such a waste because you're working hard in all the wrong ways. So everyone around you is being lazy in all the wrong ways. Jean, you're like a big clumsy giant who's trying to hold the whole world on a tray on his shoulder. I'll leave you with this, unsleeping shining officer. The thing that all heroes die of is overwork.
Damn you, Ita Salork! I'll make the world the way it should be, and I'll do it my way. I swear it!
Excuse me,
Princess. I'm sorry to bother you, but the troops are returning from the northern garrison.
Salork! Yadri! Torway! Matthew! Haro! Can any of you hear me? I'm right here. Answer if you can hear me! Yadri!
I'm sorry it took us so long, but we finally returned home. Hello, Princess.
We apologize for worrying you, Princess.
I can't tell you how relieved I am that you made it back. Just look at you. You're all so incredibly thin and pale. Where's Salork? Tell me now, where is he?
Hey, now settle down. I'm right here in front of you, Princess.
Salork! You're back! You're alive! I'm so glad! You're safe!
I almost wasn't after that attack. I should be thanking my lucky stars.
Yeah, we all should.
Thanks for the warm welcome. But remember, we didn't come back all by ourselves. The others could use some encouragement, too.
I'm so sorry. And of course, you're absolutely right. The Empire owes them everything. You've all fought bravely and so well. The only reason the Empire can still count the northern region among its territory is because of you. Because you put your own needs aside and fought with your lives to stop the invasion. I'm grateful for your efforts, and I'm sorry for your losses. I, Shamil Kichakatia von Meninik, solemnly swear that you will all be rewarded for what you've done for our Empire.
You oppress the Synod for no reason we can see, needlessly cost soldiers their lives, and your impudence invited enemy invasion. Because of your foolish actions, the war to defend the northern region continues on with no imaginable end in sight. Lieutenant General Tom Tux Safida, you are hereby demoted to private, stripped of your decorations, declared the highest class of war criminal, and ordered to be executed for your crimes.
Oh no, please! I beg you! Anything but that! Don't kill me! Please! Don't kill me!
So, what is it you need from me this time, Princess? Do I get an earful about something stupid I've done?
Just tell me, Salork. Honestly, what do you think of the state of the Katiavarna Empire?
Well, I think it's going downhill pretty fast. Its influence is waning, its politics get more corrupt by the day. The Emperor's nothing more than a puppet now, and he's failing to fulfill his duties as a ruler.
That seems pretty harsh. However, I completely agree. That's why you're here. I have something to ask you. Ikta Salork, you've proven to be one of our most valuable assets. Rise to the top of the Imperial Army and change this country from its core.
Huh?
Don't try to tell me you can't do it. You have a truly unique military talent. An overwhelming talent, really.
Look, this is stupid. Even if I was to rise all the way to the top, what is it you want me to do then? You want me to start a coup or what?
No, I want you to lose a war. And in doing so, save the country. That loss will then usher in the culture of the Kyoka Republic, their economics, their political philosophy. We can use all of these external pressures in order to purify the Empire.
Look, Princess, it's just, if we did that, then the Empire would lose all of its unique culture.
I want you to lose the war, but in a way that maintains enough power to keep that from happening. You asked me what I needed from you, so there you go.
So you're saying that you want...
I want you to lose the war in the right way. You hate soldiers, you hate the Imperial family, and you hate heroes. I'd say you're tailor-made for this role. So don't even hesitate, Ikta Salork. Come stand beside me, and let's fight together until we lose.